What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
Hijack versus Big Blind, just a bread and butter spot using the Peak GTO's trainer. Brian, you are up first. You have Jack 9 suited in the hijack. What would you like to do?
2.5.
I like it. All right, let's raise 2.5. There we go. We got 3-bet.
I think it falls a decent bit, actually.
Okay, so you're calling. I think I'm folding this one, and I think uh Jack 10 suited probably doesn't even call pure, but it probably calls. All right, so uh let's just take a look and see. So yeah, the Jack 9 folds and the Jack 10 is the Jack 10 pure? Jack 10 is close to pure. It might have a little bit of folds, but it's calling. Queen 10 though. So in your gappers, it's Queen 10, but not Jack 9 or 10-8. All
Okay.
right, there we go. And so we can't, it doesn't make sense to play it out because you're in no solver land. All right. So take the
We'll
next one.
fold.
We're gonna get take the next one and we'll go post flop with one. There we go.
Fold.
Old. Good.
Fold.
Yep. I'll change it to close decisions in a second.
Fold.
Yeah. Most tournament players probably play Jack 5 around there. Or maybe out of the cutoff they do it. They're fucking animals. All right.
That's a fold as well.
Yeah, it is. What's the smallest suited king that you have any calls with, that you have any opens with out of the high?
I think it's 5. King 5.
King 5 is a bunch of them, and King 4 at 2.5 in the Wizard has a smidge. But I think in poker coaching, it's just a pure fold. It's just King 5. Yeah. There's a smidge of King 4 here, I think, in the Wiz. You don't
Yeah.
need it. All right, we're folding this.
All right. We are raising to 2.5.
Yep. And what's the smallest pair that we mix folds with?
Mixed with, I mean, I think technically in the wizard you can, well, actually, no, no, no. What is it? Fives or sixes?
I think it's gonna be fives out of the hijack. I think sixes are gonna be pure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and for this one, it moves all the twos, threes, and fours into the fives. It simplifies it here. So yeah, in the wizard, there's a little bit of twos, a little bit of threes, a little bit of fours, some fives, and then sixes is pure. So we're gonna do this, and I think by the way, this is a fine simplification. This is a fine way to play. It's easy. You don't have to think. All right, so we raise.
All right. Well, I mean, I would bet small, but I think solver would actually check a decent amount of time, and then I think when it bets, it's actually not going to bet huge because it's monotone.
Yeah,
But I would bet 1.4.
me too. And while the solver probably has some checkbacks here with a set, I'm never going to check a setback. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has 20% checks, and then the bet is always that small size and like that. And he folds great. Oh, he didn't fold. He
He
called.
calls. He checks again.
Yeah.
So solver land, I think you would start to polarize here with some hot size bets, possibly some. I don't know about. I don't know about overbet. I would probably. So this is a weird spot because I don't think they're capped yet,
They're
and
not. Yeah.
I would like to cap them.
Mhm.
So in real life, it's a weird spot because you want to start to pile money in against his draws, but you want to incentivize him to raise off his hands that are already made. So he has one basically going to run into a brick wall here. So I would rather just go big than worry about the one hand that I'm worried about. So because a lot of his flushes, other than the ace high flush, are gonna start raising prior.
Yeah.
So I would bet 12.4 in my game.
Okay.
And no, I'd bet a little smaller than that because I think that some draws might start to get a little bit inelastic with that size or elastic with that sizing. So I'd go 8.3, but I think solver will go probably 8.3 as well.
Okay. So the one thing about recap, I don't know what the value of capping in here is, given how strong your hand is. So if he check
Hmm.
raises you to any reasonable size, I think you have to call him, right?
Yeah.
With 20%, and position to boat up.
Yeah,
So
either way, so it does
yeah.
make sense.
So yes, so the info, like, him raising with a flush here, you go, oh darn, I had to pay more money. Um, and I think this is my thought is in solver land, not an exploitative land, is that the big bet size here with a hand as good as a set isn't going to be an overbet because of the completed equity that we probably don't have overbet. So the big bet is probably the 5 and the 8 like that. So you chose the 8?
Yeah, I mean that's the size that I would use, and
Yeah.
I'm sure solver uses it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's take a look and see just on here before we go to it. So we mix the bets and calls and checks, which doesn't surprise us. Um, and the bet size that it likes, yeah, it doesn't look like overbets, but I can't tell because I can't see
It's
the colors.
it's not. It doesn't look like it.
Right. So
Um,
no overbets, lots of this size, and even the 5 is a little better represented. Hey,
okay.
hey,
We get a terrible, awful card.
terrible, awful card.
Um, okay, so what does he get here with? So his range prior was, I think that there was some top pair, some flush draw, some ace, some made flushes.
Yeah.
Um, we just want to target the top of his range here.
Yep. Which
Um,
is flushes and eights, right?
yeah, he's not going to fold his flushes and eights.
Yeah. What size will an 8 call?
Uh, that's the question. So I want to charge. I think that I should be more targeting the eight than the flush because at this point it's going to be less likely that he has a flush at
I
this
agree.
point. At least if I was playing live, he would have donked into me at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. He's donking the river with a flush a lot.
yeah, so we would do what would an eight call? I think I would do a different sizing than any of the ones listed here. I wouldn't go all in actually, because I think that some eights, I think an eight will call all in, so I just jam.
Okay. I think an 8 will call
I was gonna in
eh,
between like 50.
between, I think an 8 will call somewhere between 20 and 40.
I think
And
in
it's a
my
big
game
range,
they're
big
calling
range,
me all in.
but it's like I'm confident they'll call less than 20. And so I think, yeah, that's what I think. Um, so what you're gonna do the jam?
I would like to go like 50 personally. I would like to do
Yeah.
a 2x. That would be my
All right.
preferred size. I guess it's closer to 37 than it
Yeah.
is to jam.
And then 37 or jam. Which one are you choosing?
Go 37 because I would have gone 50 in game. It's wow,
It's all 14. I don't believe that. He called. He called 37 ace high.
and see that's the hand that's never calling in game
No.
that I shouldn't even be worried about trying to get the call.
Yeah. Do you guys have that guy's name and address?
I'm trying to play with
All
him.
right. Lopez, you have
Yep.
pocket kings. Congratulations. What would you like to do with them?
2.5.
All right. There we go. Beautiful.
Tight, tight raise. Sometimes you gotta fold that.
All right.
I'm feeling wild today. All right. Did he check? Sorry, I didn't see it. He
Check.
checked me.
Yep. He checked.
I'll go one point, two, three, do diamonds. I'll go 3.3 because the board's connected and it has a flush draw as well.
Okay. And we have the king of diamonds. That's nice. And we have the
Yeah.
king of spades, which is also nice. All right. Here we go. We'll go 3.3. This is also a board that we probably don't bet range on. So since we're going to be betting a little we're betting selectively. So I think we can bet bigger. I think 3.3 makes sense. 36. And we do some check. And the fact that we check back half the time is
Yeah.
fine.
Why we 50, it
When
said
you bet,
57%
just goes
checking
right.
there, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It looks at this board and goes, this is not my board.
Okay.
So it just says, so sometimes you just play according to that and get him in. But he called you, which is great.
Okay. So he's calling me. He's in the big blind. Okay.
Yeah, he's a big blind.
All right. So I guess he could be calling me with a lot of different hands of floated
Mhm.
3, floated 8, 5,
Yep.
6, with the spade or something.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna bet here again. I block below flushes.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna bet 7.3.
Okay. If this were, and this is what we're going to go look up. If this were not the 4 of spades, but if this were the 7 of spades, I think you can overbet with the second flush coming and him and he has a lot of hands he can continue that. The reason I think you can't overbet now is the 2, 3, 4 brings in locked up equity. So you're over. So I think your bet sizes get pushed to your 7.3 and your 12.1. We're going to look this up when we follow up. But you chose the 7.3. I like it. Let's see if the solver likes it. Solver thinks it's fine. It goes for the 12.1 more than that.
Okay.
The fact that it gives you this negative ELO score, ignore that entirely. Your choice was a good choice. The solver does it sometimes. It has good reasons to do it. You were in a slightly minority node, and you weren't even in a. It wasn't like a never node.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. That's a good thought process. It just it 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 got pushed to the bigger size more often, and I didn't see whether it did the overbet. All right, uh, Queen on the river. He
Queen on
checked.
the river, I'm not too worried about. I guess there is one float. I guess he could do a queen 8, call me down with a queen 8, but that's, unlikely if he's not
Yeah,
donking into me on the river. So
yeah,
I'm gonna all of his draws missed though, because I mean he's like a lot of draws here. Could have had a
yeah,
5, he could have had an ace on the flop, what ace of
yep,
diamonds on the flop, could have gone at, trying to get that ace 2, 3, ace through 5.
yep.
So because he missed so much and he didn't donk, I'm gonna go a little smaller because I don't think he's gonna call a big bet.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna try to milk an 8 here at this point, make a hero call on an 8. So I'm gonna go 16.
Gotcha. So that makes total sense. The one thing you get to do though is of those flush draws, you can ignore them once you say he gets here with a lot of flush draws, but they're not calling anything. So let's see what we target. And the most obvious thing to target is an 8. That is the most obvious because he doesn't, the queen's not here very often. So how much would an 8 call? You say 16.
Yeah. I was thinking like a queen something of diamonds or something he could have.
That'd be great if he had it,
Yeah.
but the majority of what you're targeting is an 8.
Yeah.
And so you think an 8's going to call half pot here. I think they are too. I think an 8 might call pot sometimes or something in between these. But you go for this one. It can't be wrong. And he goes bigger.
Wow.
He goes 40.
Crazy.
I don't understand that fully. And he called you. Well, it's because he called with the ace 3. Now, let's go back and look at that one. That one we want to study. All
It's
right.
because Sulfur doesn't think about ranges.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Session history. This guy. All right. These were our questions. Let's first look at on the flop. We're going, why are we checking back the kings at all? And it's just because this board is bad for us. So we protect our checking range with all of our overpairs sometimes. We include them all in our betting range for the obvious reason. The only set we have is the 8s. We never have the deuces or 3s. And then we have lots of bluffs in our betting range. These bottom pairs are a bluff. And then we have lots of value in our betting range. And in our check back range, we protect it well on a board that isn't ours. So we chose the king bet, which is great. And the size that it likes is the bigger size because we're betting infrequently. So just look at the global frequency of the whole hand. All the bets are the bigger size because this board is bad for us. And we check a lot because this board is bad for us, right? Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Everybody's on board with that? We like that?
Yeah.
Right. Now, on the turn, our global bet size is pot. A little bit of the 60% pot, but we would simplify this and just say pot. But if this turn didn't complete the straight, I think we're going to get some overbets. Let's find out. So instead of the 4, you are the 7 of spades. He checks. And now, oh, okay. Now we got to go forward here. He checks. He checks. And here we are. And now, nope. Nope, we don't get the overbet. We just get even more of the big bets and less checking, right? We're checking 56% on the 7, and on the 4 of spades, we were betting. He checks. We check 44%.
Okay.
What was the other number? It was higher, right?
50 something, yeah.
50. Okay, so we bet more on the 4. So I'm just wrong. We have ace 5 in range. We have 5, 6 in range. So sometimes this straight is good for us. All right, so I was just wrong on that. We don't get the overbet there. And then what was our other question? River size.
Yeah, river sizing was weird.
So when we bet, oh yeah, so let's bet the bigger size here. Let's bet the size that it wants. We bet the smaller, and it kind of caught up. So if we bet the size that it wants most here, and now we get our queen of diamonds on the river.
Queen of hearts.
Yeah, queen of hearts, thank you. So yeah, so we bet the 12 and he calls. Now we get our queen of offsuit, our queen of red. He checks range. And we go lots of pot, some half pot, a little bit of jam. Who jams? Sets jam, straights jam, blocking the straight bluff jams, straight jams, blocking a straight bluff jams, weird blocking a straight bluff jams, blocking only one straight. No, 7 blocks nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Just plain out weirdness jams. And a little bit of top pair, top kicker.
Yeah,
That's
top
good
top.
enough. Right.
Huh.
And then a little bit of nonsense here. King 10, just complete nonsense. Blocking a queen-ish. Value bets, and the value bets are, the non-jam value bets are similar. Same, a lot of the same stuff. Pick up some of your ace 9. All right. And then we wanted to see when we go to 7.3, which was the size we chose, right? You went 7.3. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. He calls. Now we get this queen of hearts river. He checks. And all of these are represented. Our hand, which was pocket kings, is going for the bigger size, 26. It's going for the bigger sizes, I think, because of its absolute value. So if you imagine, so when we were on the river, we were thinking about what his hand would call, right?
Yeah.
You were targeting 8s. And what this is saying is, yes, target 8s, but then choose in this case, we're betting according to our hand strength, not his hand strength,
Okay.
or our size. We're adjusting our range there. So we're not optimizing each hand. So when you thought about the kings, and this makes total sense, and I did too, we said, okay, we have the best hand here almost all the time. How much will his most likely hand call an 8? And the solver, in its own solver way, adding solver logic to what isn't it doesn't have this kind of logic to it. But the English version of it is, yes, I get here, I have the best hand. How do I distribute my range in these buckets? So I'll put the strongest hands in the bigger bucket,
Okay.
along with along with the right bluffs, and then and then the medium hands in the medium bucket. Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you could get a hero call to someone who thinks you raised pre-flop with ace king or something, you know?
yeah, exactly. But your king beats his jack and his 10-10 and his 9-9 if they're there. But your 10-10 doesn't beat the jack. So that's that's sort of the sizing game I think we're playing here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But the way you approached it seems totally fine to me, to just to focus all the way to the river on his calling range, and just, are we ahead of it? Yes. What size will he call? That sort of optimizes each hand rather than the range. That seems fine. All right, Larry,
Good morning. All right.
good morning. Let's go. Wrong thing. Here we go. This is what we want. The drill. All right. Keep training. Ace 8 suited.
It's an open.
Damn right. You get 3-bet.
This is a fold.
It is. Now, when you don't fold, in the sliver that you don't fold, if there's any, is it a call or a 3-bet re-raise?
Yeah, I think this is a for the bluff if we're gonna play it.
I think so too. I think this is a mostly fold with a little bit of 4-bet bluffing and like just no calling. And I'm wrong. It's a
Yeah,
good
I'm not
I
fold.
was
surprised, but
about to say.
You like to call there, Brian?
Yeah, I'm gonna call there. If
Okay.
you're deep. Actually, maybe not 100 big blinds deep, but I'm 100% calling there for 200
Okay.
plus.
All right.
At
Let's
200 deep, I'm
right.
definitely playing that.
Let's look at that. Let's go 200 deep. 8 max, 200 deep. Hijack raises to 3. We get 3-bet. Back on us.
Well,
Solvered.
80%. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just
It loves your implied out hands that can
yeah.
make the
Yeah.
nuts and cooler somebody. And they have ace king or whatever the hell they pocket kings.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then at 100 big blinds deep with no rake. Let's see how reduce the implied odds and still have all the other stuff.
He still has a decent amount of calling.
Yeah.
I don't know, we just saw it. But
Let's see what it is. A little less. The ace 7 and the ace 6 were folding in the 200s a little bit, right? There was some
oh
fold
yeah.
on there, but the ace 8 never folded. So now this region's folding some. But this surprised me, seeing this, how much calling it does here. My memory is that Mr. Wizard doesn't like that.
Because of the weird implementable strategy that Peak uses.
Mhm.
How there's only slivers in the first place.
well, I
But
think it's
still,
also because there's no rake too.
yeah, but still there's calls.
I pulled it up. I
calls
pulled
can-
it up. It's 21% at 100 blinds on
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, you have it pulled up. I'm sorry.
I got it up. Yep, exactly. Yeah, there's some calls. So I was wrong. It mostly folds, and I'm great with that fold there. But it's not wrong to call it. I thought it was wrong to call it. All right, here we go. And did you get to go post flop? You did not. All right, king queen suited.
We are going to play king queen suited.
Hell yeah. Come on, raise me. I dare you. I dare you. Hey, then.
Yeah, we fought pretty well.
Pretty well.
Terrible flop.
Yeah.
He doesn't have ace. Well, does he? He has ace king suited against low jack, but not hijack. Yeah, I think we just bet small.
Mm-hmm.
So bet 1.4.
All right. And go small. Yep, it loves small.
He's
Oh,
put.
great. Oh, yes.
Um, This is an interesting spot. So I think generally when the flush plays, it drives their sizing down.
Yep.
So I think we either go half or small bet again.
Hmm.
A check. We can call a check raise with this combo.
Mm-hmm.
Using a small bet, tiny bet again seems really efficient, but it might do it a little bit. But I'm gonna bet five.
Me too. And in game, we're gonna bet five, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now let's in if this is the horse, what size do we want to bet?
5 or
I think
2.1.
Yeah.
yeah, if this is the horse,
Sorry,
we want
sorry.
to recap him, so we're gonna use a small bet.
Yeah, I agree.
It might use a small bet here, sometimes in theory too.
Right. Is the solver gonna check this hand ever on this turn?
I think it will.
I think it will too. I think it'll do it. Uh, I think it's gonna do it 35% plus, at least 35, maybe. And if I had to set the line for a bet, I would set it at 40. Is the horse ever going to check here?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. We need
Yeah,
info.
I think it wants to recap, so
I
it wants to use a
I
2.1.
agree. All right. So we're going to go 5. 39 on 5, 44 on check. Great. Great. And he called. Awesome.
So we didn't get check raised. That removes some of the flushes. He has more flushes in theory that he's defending.
Yeah.
More flushes that get there that he's defending. Tough spot.
All right.
I don't think that we get to check this back. I think it's too far from our range. But I don't think we get to use pot size bet yet. So I think we're gonna bet 11.
Okay. So
I would be surprised if we check this back.
I agree with your thought process, except I was putting it, I was saying, I don't think we get to go 27. So I don't think we get to check this back. And I agree. If it has some percentage, if it has 15%, I don't care. And you said, and you said, I'm going to change one of your words. You said we don't get to go pot, and I'm going to say we don't get to go big, is what you said. And I agree.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I agree. But you
I
said
don't
you
think-
thought pot was big, and I thought over pot was big.
yeah, I see your
for
point.
that. So I think it's gonna be concentrated in this area. We're gonna see. All right. So that's gonna be our solver bet in game against your actual opponents. So in the solver, definitely he has some flushes left in there. There's no question. Solver has some flushes in this line. But we're not playing solvers. Do your opponents have any flushes in this line?
Yes, I think they do. I think they have.
Low
I
ones.
think they're defending very wide,
Yeah.
and that I think drops them into more kind of marginal flushes here, which would be like, I don't know, five. I think
5,
we
6,
can give them
6,
5,
7.
3.
5, 6, 6, 7. I could easily see them playing this way. And I
I
could see
actually
them.
disagree.
You disagree? You think
I,
check raising all the
I think
flushes?
there's only one flush that they have here, and it's the ace high flush.
Really? You think so? They check raised. When did they check raise? The turn with all their
They
flushes?
didn't. On
Or
the
did they
turn,
bet out
and
with
they
their,
lead. Yeah, they lead the river, and they don't have the ace because they would have led the river with the ace high flush.
okay,
So I just don't think our opponents don't have one unless it's like a very specific player type that I know will really play tricky, slow play. They're super strong hands.
right,
But even those guys that slow play that when they get their 5, 6 of spades, they're raising that shit on the turn or
right,
somewhere because they're so scared of another spade coming out and you having the ace of spades.
right. Okay. So they bet those. A few of them on this specific board on the 5, 6, and the 6, 7 didn't bet it because of the straight flush bonus and
Actually, yeah, that's actually completely true. I didn't
the
think
bad
about
beat
that.
bonus because they
Yeah,
want to see a king come, right? So
yeah.
they get here with so some of our guys get here with the 5, 6, and the 6, 7 and the 5, 7, sure. But they donk the river when it doesn't come.
That's
You
my
know,
number one thing of why it's
Right,
different is that they're
okay.
donking
do
here.
we ever think that the 10 scares them off of that since the king 10 isn't open? let that, like, maybe he has like, let's say a 5-6 of spades, and he doesn't want to lead that or donk the river because the king 10 can boat up.
I would say they're not intelligent enough to think that way.
Okay.
They don't think about range. Not intelligent. I don't want to say it that way. They don't think about ranges and shit like that as much. And if they're like, oh, I have a great flush. They have a full house. I fucking lose. It is what it is.
Yeah. So they've bet, so Brian's consider, whose hand is this? This is Larry's hand. So Larry, your opponents, how many flushes do your opponents have here?
Yeah, I do think there's low flushes here in the range, and I think the low flushes are around suited captors and
Okay.
like 5-4.
Okay.
I'm fine. They
So they-
can't have 5-4, so
Okay.
like 6-5.
All right. So they have some flushes. Um, and they have, what else did they get here with that they can call? What's their calling range on the river?
To what's it would that's I think it's somewhat size independent.
Okay. Well, what's their marginally made range on the river before we choose the size? What do they get here with? So a little bit of low flushes. And Brian says no low flushes for him, but it's your
Probably
opponents.
8s and 4s with a spade.
Okay.
Which if they're going to have more of than solvers. That I think they're going to have like 9-8 off.
Okay. So
They're going
let's
to
represent.
have 5-4 off.
Okay. So let's represent that range with just one hand, just to simplify our own thoughts. We're not putting them on ace of spades, 8 of hearts. That's not what we're putting them on. But we're going to ask the question, what will ace of spades, 8 of hearts call here? And that's going to make it easy for us to choose a size, because ace of spades, 8 of hearts represents a lot of their range. 9-9 will play the same as that. King deuce will play at least that and more.
Yeah, and you've also got the pairs with a spade. Good point.
Yeah. So all that. So all of that can be represented by ace of hearts, ace of spades, 8 of hearts. What size will that guy call?
I don't think he's going to call pot size bet. I think he
Okay.
might call 11.
So I think, yeah. So you chose a solver 11, you chose a game 11. I agree with all that stuff. That makes sense. And now, just on the last thing, what's the horse going to bet? So,
Yeah, so I don't know how the horse plays the spot. So there's completed equity out there. He's going to assume, I think, that they are check raising their thick value, which is around flushes and maybe boats on turn. So I think probably once you take away the top of the range,
mhm.
like I think essentially a horse is doing, by his essentially argument is that they are going to have an aggressive action on turn.
Yeah. Or on river, or they're going to donk the river.
Are they going to duck the river? Well, then we're going to go bigger, right? Because then they are stripped to the top of a lot of their good hands. So then we're gonna use a pot or overbet.
So oh, did you want to say something, Brian?
He would go smaller since they're stripped of a lot of their good hands here. He just doesn't think, and then when he gets raised here, he'd be like, okay, well,
Yeah.
they always have it.
Yeah. So here's my understanding of the repeatable process by the horse at the end. Everything you've said is true, but that's not the question we ask. We get here and we ask a simple question for us. We start with, what is our hand? Is our hand value? Is our hand a bluff? Is our hand, and maybe is our hand play for stacks? But let's just go with our hand is value, right?
Our hand is still value on this one.
Our hand is value. I agree. So if our hand is value, ignoring everything else about the board in his range, we just ask the simpler question, what would we do with the opposite? What would we do if we had a bluff here? If we
Yeah,
had
so
the ace of spades, ace of
think our-
spades, jack, how big would
Well-
we have to bet to get his range to fold? We're never getting a flush to fold, right? Okay, I'll let you finish. So what would we do if we had a bluff? Now you go on.
so I mean, so depends on, in theory, if we had a bluff, we're shoving. But against humans, I think a bluff at adequate size would be
right.
an overbet.
I'm gonna strongly disagree with you there.
I disagree as
trying to
well.
bluff. Yeah, if we're trying to bluff, we have to say to ourselves, a flush is not folding to a jam.
Yeah, but if you're solver,
No, no, we're not solver now.
well, I gave the solver example and then I said an overbet.
Oh,
But
sorry. Okay,
I see where you're going.
yeah, I'm saying
So
yeah,
he's gonna use the small size a lot and just fold out their busted stuff.
yeah. So if he's going to go small with a bluff, then with value, you can go a little bigger, but this is actually not thick value. This is not the thickest of value here because the flush is there. So yeah, I think even he ends up. I think he ends up in this same 11 and 18 and not the big ones. All right.
Yeah, I mean, good point. That
I don't know
Yeah,
that, by the way.
the Hungry Horse adjustment here is very interesting. That he's going to use small size just to fold,
Yeah.
just to fold out your air. So if you have like a naked, I don't know what would be a naked wheel draw, like so
Yeah.
you had like ace 3 with the ace of spades or something.
Yeah.
He would use 11 here to just target the bottom of your range for a fold.
Right.
And
And
he would also be asking the question of, can I get a king to fold? But he wouldn't put them on many kings getting here.
right. Yeah. If you conclude that they have no flushes, then you don't need to get a flush to fold. If you conclude they have no kings, you don't have to get a king to fold, and so your bluff can be quite small.
Yeah, you're right.
Be
You're
there.
right.
But
That is the Hungry
But
Horse.
that means the absolute top of your value range can be huge, meaning when you have a full house here, you can go huge because he's going to call you because we've said he's going to call you with those hands, but we don't have that. We actually aren't. We aren't at the top of our value range, even though our hand is, even though we have a set of king. We have trip kings. Trip kings isn't that high up. We have trip kings with a very good kicker. All right, so you're going 11, and with all that speech, it is check. We checked pure, right? That's what
Yeah.
the solver did.
Not sure.
Basically.
I
Yeah,
can see.
it was like 99%
Yeah.
check.
Okay.
So then we should look at this and see where our value threshold is.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I
And
am.
by the way, I don't agree with the solver on this river at all. And by the way, neither did the solver when an ace queen called you. So, all right, let's go to session history. Let's take a look at what this
Let's also confirm ace queen does call to that size. That seems a little bullshit.
Yeah, did that ace queen roll 1,000 or
Why
something?
don't we start there? So if you go to river and like go to hijack,
Yep.
are we using this size? That's the first question. So we're using this side. Not a lot. 8% of the time we're using this size.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go in his action. Let's see if he really does call you with ace queen.
Right. And so, okay, yeah, let's do that first. So we go the 18, we go the 11,
We go to 11.
and his ace queen,
And you have ace queen off.
right? Ace queen off. It calls sometimes
Yeah, rolls.
with the blocking spade.
0.
Usually it folds. You just
He
got
did
lucky.
have a spade. All right. Okay, cool.
You got very lucky. I mean, look at how often it does that call.
Yeah, true.
But okay, great.
So it doesn't like this on river. It doesn't like this kind of in between sizing. It wants to use more polar sizing, which makes sense.
And it makes sense because of how it's playing its range, which is it's decided that king queen is not good enough to bet.
Well, let's look at the equity. So
And
the
ace-
equity of king queen should be, it's not going to be below 50%. It's going to be weird. It's going to be like, yeah,
way
up in
up
the
there.
70s.
It's
But
way up there.
this texture, even though it's got 70% pot share, it doesn't care,
Yeah.
right? It says it checks back because I don't know why it checks. It must check back because there's
It puts its value threshold on people because big blind has flushes. Big
yeah.
blind has all the flushes in this range. All of them.
That is
Big blind
one thing I don't
nothing.
understand about solver is that we kind of thumbnailed 50% as a value threshold, but there are times, especially when there's kind of locked up big equity here, that it will go much higher in its valuation for its value bets.
So given that that the solver has made the choice that a singleton king is not enough to bet, not even ace king.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
is-
given that it says that, and I think it's ace king. So what? It's ace king. You need the king of spades. Is that what you need here? Yeah,
Yeah.
you need the ace of spades to bet. You have to block the flush.
you don't. King of
Okay.
spade ain't good enough. Well, you
Right.
can't have king of spade, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Given that, if you say that I'm not even betting a king here, then of course you don't use the small size,
yeah, that makes sense.
right? You know, so our thing of saying, gee, the flush kind of pushes our size down. It's like it did, but for the solver, it goes, don't even bet those.
That,
Um,
that doesn't even make sense to me though, because this board should be us all day.
I know.
I mean, king 8, that's a great board for us. When it turns a flush, yeah, they make some flushes, but we have so much more nutted equity than them.
Well, let's go back to equity
We have
graph. Let's
all
look
the
at
ace high
equity graph.
flushes.
Let's make sure that our side. Let's make sure we didn't like do something stupid along the way where we got rid of all our hands. No, 25. So most of the time we bet small here on the turn when we bet. Most of the time we bet 5, which is what we did. So we are in the thickest part of the tree. We're on a big thick branch. Okay, so now Brian, you were saying.
I'm just saying that we have, yeah, they can make tons of flushes, but we have all of the nut hands. I mean, they
Mhm.
don't have kings. We can have every nut hand except for 4s full of kings,
Yeah.
and everything else we basically have. And we have all the ace high flushes. We have the quads. We have the full houses. We have everything. So it's just weird to me that we're so timid in this position.
Well, we can look a little
I
bit
have
at
an
the
answer for
tools
you.
that it has to offer. We can like look at our total equity. We can look at the equity graph. We can look at
Yeah.
some
Right,
of
but
that.
so we're going to look at the equity graph now, but I think you gave your answer there, Brian. You listed all these massive hands that we have. We have all these massive hands, and
So we
therefore,
are at the, yeah.
therefore,
And
this is now low in
yeah,
our range.
we are at the bottom of our range. Yeah,
We're
I
at the
guess.
marginally made part of our range relative to his protected range that our opponents don't have. All right, now let's look at the equity graph you wanted to see.
Yeah, just go keep on going down.
Equity here.
No, it's below the yeah,
Check.
low.
Hands categories equity graph.
So where are we? We're on our node.
We are in
So
position.
yeah, this does tell us a little bit. It tells us that we're not that far off in both having nutted combos. So
Right. And so here was the thing that you pointed out, Brian, which is, so yeah, look at all the places at the top where we just are killing him on the nuts. Look at that. And the crossover is at ace king. That's where
Yeah.
ace king is for us. So we're killing him there.
what about if we go to imposition? Like, so does it matter if you click on, see where it says out of position, in position?
Out
Just
of,
above where you are, just above, keep on going, up and then to the right, yeah.
there's the out of position equity. Oh, it just gives us the number.
Oh, just key the number, doesn't change
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in position. Because we don't have the equity advantage overall.
Yeah, well, I guess
He
we don't
got
have.
here because we also got here with a bunch of bluffs and he has no bluffs left.
Yeah,
That's true. Close out all his junk, except for
right,
ace
yeah.
queen, apparently.
Yeah.
What if you
Ace
click
queen
on
with the ace of spades.
categories? Does that
With the
tell
ace
us
of spades.
anything? So this just tells us what we get here with as a percentage of our range.
Yeah.
So we
We're-
can see like this doesn't tell us that much more. We're trying to figure out why we're not value betting.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see that he's got more. So that's in position. That's us. So we could see a little bit like if you go to out of position,
Mhm.
click, we are out of position. Okay, now
Yeah, this is
compare
not
to.
changing here though, interestingly.
So
Oh, we got to go. We have to go to here. We have to click on it to get to see our combos. Here we go. So this is him. This is his combos,
okay,
and he checks them all. This
yeah,
is
okay.
us, and it
So-
says that trips are just. I mean, it's that. Go
Yeah, this
to
is actually
polar.
this is a good tool to look at because it
Yeah.
does tell us where our value threshold is.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the tools, frankly, that the wizard has, but this is a little helpful. Oh, and it's also
It's
helpful
okay.
because it
It's
highlights
okay,
them.
Peak. He doesn't love you the way I do. It's okay, Peak. You did good. You did good, Peak. All right.
Now, what if you scroll down and look at equity buckets?
Right. Equity buckets. But here's just the answer. It says that,
Yeah, there's our equity bucket.
and look at how polar it is. There,
Yeah, yeah. I
that's
mean,
your
it
raises,
just,
that's your raises. And then rather than moving these small sizes into this area, it just turns those all into checks. I don't
yeah,
think,
it's just telling us our value. Yeah, so it says our that doesn't tell us much on this board, but it does tell us that our value, it tells us the value threshold or flushes, yeah.
yeah. And you don't need to protect your check back range in position on the river. You know, it's not like I have to keep my good hands in there so that so that he can't raise me with his weak hands. I didn't
Would that
bet.
make sense?
But I want a super easy answer if I get check raised. And it is fold these and call these. And these wouldn't give me super easy answers.
Yeah, so why don't we do that one last thing? Let's value bet. Obviously, we're off this hand, but if we value bet, let's say
Yeah.
what's our most common size?
Our most common size on the
Big
value
bet,
bet
right?
is the pot.
Okay, so
Oh,
if we
is the over pot. I'm sorry, is the over pot.
let's just see what we
Bring
fold
the
to
best.
if we go over bet here.
Yeah. Over
We go
bet.
over bet, and then we essentially we're now looking at well, you could do this very easily now because if he overbets, right? Did you give him the overbet?
Oh yeah, so we over bet and you want to see what
Oh, he only has he has the all in.
yeah.
So give him the all in.
Oh, do it and then see what we call off with.
And then what do we need to call with? And and we need a vote. We
We
fold
fold
all
flushes.
flushes.
Yeah,
We fold all, we all fold all, we don't care what level of flush it is on the paired board, we just fold everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We fold the flushes to that action. Now we were considering betting 11 and betting a lot wider. And we were also saying we were going to fold to all his raises. So the horse here. So in our exploitative world, the changes we're making, and I think a couple of them are right, our opponents do not have this level of flushes here. They did not check every flush they had.
And I will take back that they do have some low flushes because of the weirdos that are just trying to make a high hand. So
Right.
I would not completely all there.
Right.
Well, you
But,
see
but,
all
but
it,
here's the
it
thing, but
just
did
goes
they bet them?
8-5. I think you just have to give it more 8-5.
Yeah.
And like 6-4.
Yeah. Anything that could make a straight flush, they won't raise because they want to see the river and see if they can make a high hand.
Right. But most of the time they then bet them out on the river, right?
Exactly. So that's
If
why I
they're-
would then go back to them being like, okay, they don't
Yeah.
have flushes here.
So they are relatively flush. So our opponents are relatively flushless here, which means we can absolutely bet our kings.
And you're only getting raised by full houses then,
And we
basically.
fold. Yeah, we fold them. As does the horse. The horse folds a king there instantly. Did we conclude but I didn't conclude what his size was on this, because we ask ourselves the opposite. And I think it's that because of that, we go huge with our flushes. I mean, not with our flushes, I'm sorry. We go huge with our full houses on the river.
Yeah, I think he would look at this like thin value, like we were looking at, and not because if it was a thick value, like if this was a play for stacks and we had a full house or a flush here,
Yeah.
he's going to go pretty large because he would bet. Well, I think he would use a small sizing here actually to fold out the bluffs. So that's why, because you're just not going to get flushes to fold, and you're not going
Yeah.
to get kings to fold as often.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to go small with your bluffs and big with your thick value. But here I mean, it's just hard. This is just hard to figure out what you can target.
What
It's
you
like the
call that, right.
yeah, it's like an
Thick value.
ace 10 that had the ace of spades and picked up a
Yeah.
10 on the river. Like that's pretty much what or something with an 8 that you can get to call small size with your king.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Dean,
Yep.
I
We're going
give you this. Hijack, 9-5 suited.
No.
All right. Fold that garbage. King 6.
No.
No. Screw you. Here we go.
Yeah.
You've been hanging out with Louis too long. Way too long. Not even close. Not even close. Now, if you'd said yes to the 8-7 and the 7-6 that Peak doesn't, I'd be fine because the wizard spreads this 6-5 out along all these, and Peak puts them all in 6-5. So I would not be making fun of you or ridiculing you or muting you like I just did, if you had said that to 7-6 and 6-8. But with that, I mute you. I now ask you to unmute for the next one. So you're folding that. That's a fold. All right, here we go. Try again.
Give me
Next.
so many folds.
I know.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Let's raise.
Let's 4-bet it.
Ooh.
Hmm. Hmm. I want to bet, but what size? Hmm. Like 1.4,
Okay.
3.5.
All right. You're gonna which you're gonna go? 1.4 or
I'll just go 1.4.
you know 1.4. Okay. Before we push
Okay.
the 1.4 button, Lopez, what size and why? Before you got here, Dean, this was the Lopez basically got this flop.
Oh, it's big. With our like nines, need protection, tens.
Well, let's find out. Lopez, what size and why?
Well, a couple of things. Honestly, on this board, I'm probably going to check here because the 8 through 4 hits his range quite well. And I don't want to lose my equity on a check raise if he did get lucky with like a 8-4, has a 5-6, he's going to check raise with. I would try to honestly, this one I'm just going to check back because of the
Okay.
the 8-4 hits his range so well, and I don't want to lose my equity with my my ace or my 2.
Okay. So now my question is this: if you had a hand that you were going to bet here, doesn't matter what the hand, but a hand that you are going to bet, what size are you going to bet on this 8-4-3 board?
If I have a hand like top of range or something.
Anything. No, just anything that you choose to bet, whether it's a bluff or top of range. Just what's a common size for your range on like you had last time you had king.
Yeah. I would yeah, more times than not, I'm going to see bet about 25%.
Okay.
So
So I'm going to
1.4.
remind you that we looked at this board, if I remember correctly. Let me make sure that I'm not taking you guys down the wrong rabbit hole.
Yeah, we hit a flush draw last time that was connected.
Right. So we had king, and it was ace deuce 3. Okay, so it wasn't exactly the
Yeah.
same board.
So the,
It
the
was
8 through 4 hits their range so much harder,
then eight
versus
then eight three.
versus 2 and
Okay.
3s because they're not calling a lot of 2s and 3s on the
Okay.
raise on a big blind defending.
All right. So with that in mind, this is going to be my prediction, and then we're going to hit the button. Hey, Andy, I think that 8-4-3 is good enough for the big blind that we bet seldom. When we bet seldom, we bet big. So I think when we bet here, we're going to be betting 3.3. I think this hand, as a gut shot, is a perfectly bettable hand, so we'll go 3.3. That's my prediction. And Dean has gone 1.4. Let's see who wins the coin flip. Scotty wins. It checks mostly, so the person who really
We both lose.
we both lose to Lopez.
Oh shit! And we just hit though.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was excellent. All right. And now we're going to go back and we're going to look at that range, at that sizing, with the range. All right. But having played it, Dean, here you are. He checks to you. What would you like to do?
I'm betting for sure. I'm
I
just
like
trying
it.
to size. Just wonder if we get any over bets. I like 12.4.
All right. Overbet. I think the horse overbets here. Let's see if the solver does. I like it. It's there. The majority was the pot size.
Yeah.
It's betting big, but your overbet was correct. And anytime you find an overbet and it's correct, that's great. So extra points for finding the well represented but
I
minority.
didn't want the ace to hit though.
No, you didn't want an
the
ace.
hit.
No, you didn't want an ace. You didn't want an ace. You didn't want a heart, and you didn't mind an 8. An 8 would have been nice.
A 5 would have been bad too.
5 would have been terrible. Ace is just bad. 5 is
Yeah.
terrible.
Makes his 8s like hate life too.
Yeah,
Bet too big.
yeah, it does.
Kind of like I want to bet kind of small, honestly. Like Yeah.
Me too. We might
Yeah.
be chickens, but I'm not because I'm afraid I'm beat. Because
No, not at all.
I need to get called. Yeah. All right. Yep.
Nice.
Perfect. All right. Let's see.
And we chop. Fuck.
Oh, that guy. I want to play with the guy who called with the ace queen. I don't want to play with this guy. All right, here we go. So, oh, wrong button. All right. So on this 8-4-3 flop, let's see if it acts like the 8-3-2 rainbow, 8-3-2 two-tone. Yeah, it does. Note that we bet infrequently and we bet large with some pot size even in there. All right. So that part was right. And then Lopez's answer that, but the ace five, we should check. Our particular ace five, yes. The one that we bet the most is give us a backdoor flush to go with it to make it easy to call the check raise, and we bet it more often. The one we bet the least often is the ace five of spades, checking 70% of the time, which is fine. But when we bet it, we bet the big size. We almost never bet the 1.4. And does that make sense to you, Dean, now why the solver does this on the bigger size
Yeah.
when you bet? Okay. And then what do you think about applying that to your actual game? Do you think that that's do you think that you should exploitatively bet the smaller size in your game? Or do you like the bigger size in your game?
Mm, mm, I don't know, honestly.
In my game, I like the bigger size. I don't see an exploitative reason to go down. Here would be the exploit reason to go down to the smaller size. If they are over folding to the small size, then why bother to go big
Hmm.
on the hands
And
that aren't value?
well, you can keep in weak hands too
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you can bluff out later. Get
Yep.
value from your bluff if you go
Yeah.
small.
So if they're not check raising enough to you, it's not like horrible.
Yeah. 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 If the small size isn't red meat to them, because you can call a check raise here. You just don't want to.
Hmm.
Right. So let's get check raised. Let's bet small. Check. We bet on the flop. We check. We bet small. He check raises us. Let's do the 9.7 first. He check raises us to the big size, and we don't have to fold a gut shot here with an over. Yeah, so we can call. He check raises us to the small size, and
Definitely
yeah,
not 40.
yeah, we don't need to fold. So like that. If we go bigger, making his check raise is less frequent but larger to the small check raise size, we don't need to fold the ace five to the and we bluff and look and we bluff
Yeah, that's pretty
with a
funny.
with a four.
A forward and over.
All right. I am not in the mood to do this. I would like to find the majority call button on that or fold. All right. He goes to the big size. And now we totally check raise him. We totally three bet him. Oh, yuck. But yeah, but again, we don't have to fold. So we don't want to get check raised, but fine, check raises.
Hmm.
We're still gonna get to see the deuce on the turn. All right. Was there any other question we had about this hand? Other than the sizing at the beginning? I don't think so. Anybody? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
All right. I believe we have Andy. Andy, welcome.
You get to play in the game now?
Yeah.
Big boy poker.
Let's see how hard I can punt today.
All right. Let's go for the full-on punt.
Yes.
First down punt. Punt on first down.
I'd
Somebody
like to
did.
see my Lions just punt every once in a while would be okay. Or
Exactly.
kick it instead of fourth down, but
Somebody did, some Moneyball kind of analysis in football and found out that you should just never punt. Just never punt. Always go for it.
they're back in like the early I want to say 2010s. There was actually a high school coach in Texas
Yeah,
that got a lot of notoriety because he never, ever, ever punted.
yeah,
And he even when he had to kick off after scoring, he always did an onside. He always did onside kicks
yeah,
and never kicked a PAT. He literally didn't have a kicker on his team.
yeah, yeah. He did do field goals though, didn't he?
No, he would never kick a field goal, never
Oh
kick a
wow.
PAT,
Okay.
never punt. It
Right.
was always
Yeah.
go for it on fourth down no matter what, and go for two every time you score a
Yeah.
touchdown.
And people ridiculed him, and it's like, well, get the
And
football
he,
stuff.
I think, set one of the. It was one of the most winningest coaches in Texas high school history.
All right. All right. 5-4 offsuit.
Oh, how hard am I punting today? I'm folded. I can't even punt that hard.
You
I
can
can
punt.
try, but like
I like
that's a little extra.
I like that. Ace 4. This could be a con. This could be a punt you could do.
Depending, game dependent, live game or super soft online game. Like I could see myself, but since we're trying to play close to optimal, I'm gonna say fold.
Yep. Yep. We're gonna fold.
I could make an argument for opening that, but like the game I'm playing a little bit later, this is for sure an open.
Open. We're definitely opening this. There we go. Absolutely. 100%. He got. Hey.
Oh, Bink.
Right.
In position, I think I like a little range bet here at 1.4.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep. It likes the 3.3 on this one. King high.
Slightly bigger
Folded.
sizing.
Yeah, he folded anyway. So on that hand, oh yeah, just a tiny little speech on the previous hand, and just to show, assuming that we don't have the ace high flush here, just gonna say one thing before we go on to mine. Let me hit the correct buttons for it. We hit this button just so we have it up here. Anytime you have a two flush board and you have a pair and a flush draw, it doesn't matter which flush draw which flush draw it is. No one opponent, and you are heads up, your opponent cannot have a better flush draw and a better made hand. You either have the best made hand or the best draw, always. If they
Makes
have a
sense.
pair, they do not have a flush draw. And if they have another flush, like they have the ace high flush draw, and you're here with the, with the queen deuce of clubs or whatever. I'm sorry, the queen four. You have to have the pair. You're here with queen four of clubs because you played it wrong. You're here with 6-4 of clubs because you played it wrong. They cannot have a pair. So that's a little thing that we all know, but it doesn't always tick in your mind so fast. So
Well,
see that.
Oh yeah, never mind. I was
That's a
thinking about
little, that is an interesting knowledge nugget.
Yep. You all knew it. If you just thought about it, you go, of course. And here's one of the things, Larry, who hates multi-way, which is, by the way, your full name, Larry, who hates multi-way. Once you go multi-way, no longer true. One guy can have a better pair and the other guy can have a better flush draw than you. And you can be drawing very, very dead. Very, very, very thin. All right. 5-3. This is me, right? Nobody else is here? Let me see. Is anybody else here? Is anybody
Unless I gotta go, unless I gotta double it up to catch up.
You do. You got to go. All right.
Oh,
All right, there we go. I'm the last one. All right, here I go. And I'm going to 5-3 fold. Ace deuce fold.
either on.
Swing 6, never fold. Lowest pair here in peak, 5s raise pure, 4s fold pure, and in the GTO wizard in the hijack, we have this. We have 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s mixing here with the, I believe 3s is a 0, but something like that. So here we go. There it is. So we got 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s mixing, and 6 is not even pure, but might as well do them from the hijack. And Peak shoves all this into 5s and 6s, which would be just a fine thing to do. I think you give up.
That's one thing I do feel that Peak's pre-flop ranges are a little bit more implementable. Like
They are.
it feels like their mixes are like 50-50. and
Yeah.
they'll take all of the slivers and put it into one and say, okay, instead of having 25% on these four hands, we're going to fold three of them and open this 100%.
Yeah. If peak had existed when I memorized my pre-flop charts at the first time, I'd seen wizard and peak, I would have said, screw it, I'm going to play peak.
Honestly, like when I started really like studying and memorizing charts was when Jay Little came out with his implementable charts on poker coaching,
Yeah. All right.
where like I don't even mess with mixing for the most part.
All right. Excellent. All right. We are going to check this back as third pair happily. There we go. Check back. All right. We are going to easily call this bet. Now, are we going to ever raise? We're never folding. Are we going to raise?
You
No.
have some
No.
raises here.
I have some raises, but I'm not going to. I'm open-ended. So if I had ace six here, I would be more likely to raise than with 6-6, and we're going to check that. So I'm not going to raise the 6-6. I'm sure it has some raises, but it's not going to have many. I'm going to reduce this to calling all the time. But if I have ace six here, I'm going to raise. So that's what I'm going to check. All right, here we go. I call. Great. Wonderful. Let's get there or have him check. And by there, I don't mean a six. I don't want a six on the river. 10 of clubs. All right. Let me start with in game. In game, I'm going to strongly consider calling. And this would be a time that I would at least take a physical read. I don't know if it would work, but I would not look at the board and think about his range. I would stare at his hands and his face. I would at least bother to do that. Don't know what I would see. Okay. Now, in Solverland, the 10 reduces the 10s that he has that were beating me anyway. And this size is a weird size for a 7 or a flush. Or, I mean, for a 7. This is a flush and 10 size in Solverland. In game, this is not a flush and 10 size, not because it's pot size, but because it's only 8 big blinds. It's just not, it's not that absolutely large. So they could do this with a 7. But if solver doesn't do this with 7s, I think that this is bluffed enough. And in solver land, I have to call. In
So
horse land, I fold.
solver land. Okay, I'll wait till you make
Wait,
your.
in horse
I'm done.
land, did you bet the flop, check the turn?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I bet the flop in horse land. So this is completely different.
So
in
you
horse
bet the
land, if
flop,
I
check the
get here,
turn,
this is I
call the
bet.
river.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was. So bet the flop.
With the
check
Peckish
the
pony,
turn,
we
Well,
never get here in
call the
this
river.
line.
That's true. You're right. This in horse, this is a bet the flop, check the turn, and call most.
maybe not call the river with this
This is a
size now.
terrible river. This is a terrible river, though. But I have the 6 of clubs. So call with the 6 of clubs, fold without the 6 of clubs. All right. What were you going to say, and what were you going to say, Andy?
I was just gonna say, I looked this up. I was following the hand, and it is with sixes with our specific hand. It is a 100% pure call.
Okay. Yep. I was calling. Okay. There we go. We're calling. And he has, which way do I get beat? By a 10. All right, fine. Take my money. Yeah, and so I think on that one, I think that river is going to be fold without the club. Let's look.
So if you don't have a club, it mixes 50-50.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I don't need to do that. I need to do this. 6s. Right. And then, we also wanted to look on the turn. If I bluff my unpaired 6s. Okay. So, on the flop, my bet size. So check. And here, this was me. And I checked my sixes there, right? Yeah. Yeah. So lots of checking with sixes there and lots of betting with ace six there and king six. Great. Everybody see why? Why we want to check the sixes a lot and bet the ace six and king six a lot?
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody not clear on that? Say it and someone will talk more. Otherwise, we're moving on. All right, everybody's clear. Great. So we do that. We chose the check line on the turn. We get the five of clubs. Oh, sorry, this was flop. Yeah, five of clubs. And he bet right out. He bet into us is what happened. So, and his bet size was
1.4.
check, check. And he bet 1.4. Okay. So if he bets 1.4, we check, he bets 1.4. And here we are with our sixes, 100%. And then this is us, right? 100% calling with sixes and a little bit of raising with these sixes. Great. So we called on the river. We get the 10 of yuck, 10 of clubs. He continues betting his ace 10, especially if it has the club. Our sixes, we don't fold any sixes on this river. Oh, sorry. This is him. This is him.
Yeah.
He bet pot. I apologize. He bet pot. Here we go.
And he's betting his 7x that size.
Yeah. Is this jerk betting his 7x this size? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Pot. No, he's not. I mean, there's a sliver of it, but look at it. It's his
Mhm.
his tens, his bluffs, and then his flushes and flush bluffs are this size. His sevens are,
That's why we call him. If he bets smaller, I wonder if like
yeah.
we
Yeah, he likes
actually have more
to bet
fold.
smaller with his seven. All right. So with this, when he does this with our sixes, this is us in sixes. There's us. Yeah. Call with the six of clubs blocking. Mix folds. All right. Up next is Brian, I believe. Unless someone else is here. Brian.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Keep training. Brian gets ace king. Ooh.
We're gonna have to open it.
All right. Careful though, they put you on ace king.
And in real life, I am well, even four bet here.
Yeah, let's do it. Are there any calls from the hijack to the big blind with ace king off?
That's a good question. I think the ace king offsuit is usually four bet. I think
Yeah.
there's like slight tiny little bit of calling, but it's 90% four bet.
Yeah, I'm always four betting it. And we never fold. We're never folding this here, ever. All right.
No.
No folds. Some
Unless
call.
it's old man
60-40.
coffee in my game.
Yeah. 60-40. And
Fold.
he folded. And the look of that range is this, just for fun. Uh, we're gonna favor the ace king suited for the raise. And in some other configurations, it goes the other way. All right.
So actually, is the other way.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
peak land,
Yeah.
ace king suited pure calls.
Right.
Heads up in position versus a big blind three bet. And ace king off mixes about 50-50.
Yeah. with some with a bunch of jams and some raises. Like that. Yep. And the
You're
wizard,
looking at eight max. You're looking at eight max right now, not
Oh,
the same.
I want to look at six max.
Yeah, you want to look at six max 100 big.
I want to look at six max 100 big. Thank you. Six max 100 big. Thank you. All right. We raise, we get 3-bet. And
So a lot less 4-bets than I would have thought.
yeah, there we go. And then in a similar situation in the wizard with 2.5, here's our wizard. 2.5, hijack 2.5, big blind goes 12 instead of 10, back on the hijack. Ace king suited does always 3-bets. Ace king offsuit does some calling. So
It's crazy how different they are.
Weird.
both are,
Weird.
yeah, there is no such thing as the GTO strategy. There are GTO strategies, and they are dependent
Right.
on your assumptions, on the ranges, your assumptions, and
I want to see something. Go back to Wiz real quick, Scotty.
Yep.
Because right now we're like NL 50. Go to like six max, like NL 200,
all right.
and see.
I got NL 1000.
Oh,
I got NL 500. NL 500. There's NL 500.
see what that looks like. See, now it does change with.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's assuming. I don't know what it's assuming.
The bigger the rake, the more you want to take it down pre-flop.
It's true. I guess NL 500, the rake relative is smaller than NL 50.
Much smaller.
There we go. All right. All right. So Brian has got another one because we didn't go post flop. King 3
Fold.
suited. Fold. Right. What's the lowest king? What's the lowest suited king we're gonna do there? Dean.
King 7.
King 5.
Oh, King 5.
5. We saw it
You're
before,
a nit, Dean.
you guys.
I'm a super nit.
Super net.
I'm a OMC all
There we
day.
go.
That's my
That it
job.
moves that much.
I've been studying with Larry too much.
Yeah. Skate is gonna end up being an old man THC. All right, here we go. We fold. All right.
Fold.
Is that different from Old Man Coffee?
Yes,
THC?
exactly. My wife likes old man THC.
We're gonna fold.
Fold. On the button, what's the lowest jack we're gonna raise suited?
Shit. I think it's either Jack 4 or Jack 2.
Jack.
I think it's Jack 3.
Jack
Is it?
4, I think is pure, and Jack 3 mixes in the whiz, I think. Let's see. And we'll look in the unmixed version of the peak. Yeah, Jack 4 pure, Jack 3 mixes. And peak, what do you think of buttons in the raked game? Jack 4 pure. Okay. Back to this.
Implementable, it is also Jack 4.
In the what? Implementable? Yeah.
Poker coaching implementable is Jack 4.
All right, we got Ace King again. We're gonna open it.
Yeah, we're running good.
Okay. This board, I mean, in theory, you're definitely not betting this hand specifically. You're gonna not bet often. You're not gonna bet much in general on this board.
Right.
In my game, I'd bet, but I'm gonna for GTO world, I'll check.
Right. Okay. And then we're gonna play this hand out with a bet after this, and get his responses as the horse. So we're gonna check behind with the ace king. Totally GTO.
Now he bets.
Yeah.
Now we have a flush completing card. We have a king high flush draw. I mean, this in theory he should be betting here pretty often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
but
is there's tons of bullshit he can be betting with. It's also a great card for his range, so that'd be why. I'm trying to think whether I want to call or raise. I think I could just call because I think a lot of the time, I mean, you could still have the best hand here, and I want to see the river, so let's just call.
Oh, great. And we are technically marginally made. I mean, it's ace king,
Yeah,
a lot of shit.
that's a yeah. We have showdown
And
against.
maybe you'll give up.
He checks.
Oh, we don't have the best ace anymore.
Alrighty.
Fuck. We still have the best hand, but we don't have the best ace. So we
Yeah, that's
there is this.
well. If I was thinking about this like in game, I wouldn't have gotten into this position. But if you think about this in game, he checks the flop, bets the turn, checks the river. Um, what's going to be more profitable, checking or betting? I think betting will be more. Well, we're not going to get. Obviously, we're not getting a three to fold or a four to fold. We're not going to get a six to fold. It's going to be pretty hard to get a six to fold. Uh,
We're never
what the
getting a flush
hell?
fold. A flush
Yeah,
rare checks here, thinking we have a full house. But if he ever has one, it doesn't fold.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We only get another ace to fold. We're just betting. We're trying to bet somebody off a
yeah,
check.
yeah. We might as well just check. It doesn't. It's. I don't think it's more profitable to
Yeah, let's do that.
pocket
And
sixes.
he has what I would call the effective nuts.
Yeah, he's got basic. I mean, we can't have threes or fours. So.
Right. Yeah, he has effective nuts there. All
Look
right.
at that. We
So
saved a
let's
bunch of money.
it did. So let's play that one out now in Horseland. Okay, so 6-4-3. We have the ace king. What do you want to do on the flop?
I would bet small.
You bet small, right? Which is, half pottish. And in Horseland, he raises his set, right? And we
Yep.
and it's over.
Yep.
That's the horse.
ever find a call
Raisins.
on a versus check raise there?
Do I
Oh,
find it in my games? Fuck no.
no, no,
I don't have enough equity to like. If I had ace king of hearts, yeah, I'm calling. But
yeah, yeah.
with
In Horseland, obviously no, but do we think like I mean against good competent opponents that will find a lot of check raises there with BS? Like, do we ever find a float with ace king there?
How many good competent opponents are you playing against in your cash game? I'm not. I didn't mean that sarcastically. I mean, what percentage of the table are
Okay,
good and
fair
competent?
enough. No, that's fair.
Yeah, Brian's.
Not enough that are gonna check raise an air ball there,
Yeah,
knowing that I should never be betting that board as
right,
the hijack opener.
right. Brian and Larry are fine. They've got one other player at the table at most who would do that, and usually zero, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I've found one player in my like 2 months of playing live that I think is competent.
Yeah.
It's
And I've got it. And at
Couple of
my
play,
average,
maybe two or three
yeah, at
total.
my average table, I've got two players who are as good, if not better than me, who would be thinking like that.
yeah. I mean, if
Little,
I can figure out that someone's making those type of plays, then I'll start to
yeah,
slow down. But I
yeah,
haven't been proven wrong yet with these people are doing this stuff.
yep, yeah. So I'm not calling that check raise. I'm just folding to it when I bet there. And that's part, and I'm also I'm not betting there unless I'm playing the handle, unless I'm choosing to play the hand as a horse. And I'm only playing the hand as the horse in that way if the guy is a recreational player. If it's one of those guys, I'm not going to play them making the horse assumptions.
I mean, I think that a lot of what he talks about does apply to most regs too.
Yeah. And he
Um,
has, and he discusses in the videos. I'm sorry, you were still talking, Brian. I cut you off.
well, they just they now they are different. They do like regs play slightly different than recs. Like recs
Mhm.
are much more face up and play super scared. Now regs do this consistently, so they're a little bit less scared money, but they're still very scared.
Yeah.
And they just, they're terrified of not getting value from their good hands. And they're terrified of getting outdrawn. So a
Yeah.
lot of the time they will react very similarly to, the way the Rex play. But some of
Mhm.
them do, like the regs, I've just learned to identify the ones that are more trappy and stuff like that, because those are the ones I actually need to watch out for, because that's when I get
Right.
myself into trouble.
Yes.
Oh, fun side note going back to that. I just kind of reran that hand where we actually bet and then get check raised. When we get check raised to a small amount, we are supposed to call with every combo of ace king off that contains a heart.
Right. Makes sense. Against the
Oh,
solver.
I'm not. My
Solver
argument
is all
wouldn't be
advantage.
that I shouldn't do it against I shouldn't call against solver. My
Right.
argument is that in game,
Yeah.
I'm not calling there.
Yep.
Like in my game.
Yeah.
I was
Exactly.
just throwing in a fun fact. I was obviously
Yep.
in agreement that we're not going to float a check raise there with ace king
Mhm.
in game because they're just not finding any of the check
Yeah.
raises. They're never finding any of the check raises that the solver's going to,
Yes.
or 99.9% of them aren't thinking, well, this is a board that he should never be betting, even with
Right.
his good hands. So there's a high probability he has an air ball. So I'm going to go ahead and fire a big check raise.
Yeah. I do that. All right.
That's what I
Lopez.
do.
Yep. Lopez, you're up.
I do plenty. I print off that move. And they're
It's-
not even aware of like ranges and, oh, I should
Yeah.
never be betting this because they're so unaware that they just see check raise on a board like that. And they're like, well, I guess he spiked his set. Here you go into the muck.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Andy, I don't know if you were here. Did I show when I first started playing live, I showed a hand where I check raised and it was multi-way and a guy face up folded top two pair to me. And
You showed me
I
that.
had
I remember that. We
yeah,
were all in shock.
backdoor flush plus a gutter. And I was like, fuck it.
Right.
Let's
Let's
apply
do
some
this.
pressure.
Yeah. All right. Lopez, you're up.
That's a fold.
Fold. Good.
It's
And
a
by the way,
little pun today. That's an open in my games.
do you like being called Lopez or KGB or by your name?
Lopez is fine.
You got it. All right. Ace nine off.
Ace nine off, 100 big blinds. I would say it's close. If the table's playing tight, I'll open. If the table's playing kind of loose, I'll fold there.
Good. And then in the cutoff, your ace nine off.
In the cutoff, honestly, the same thing. On the button, it would change significantly. On the cutoff, it would be
got
about
it.
the same, about 50-50,
Right.
honestly.
All right. I would in the cutoff in almost all the games that we play, I would raise the ace nine offsuit 100% of the time, and in the hijack, I would fold it 100% of the time in the games that we play.
It's pure from the hijack or pure open from the cutoff, pure fold in the hijack.
In peak, right?
In peak and implementable.
Right, right. And in the wizard, it's pure raise in the cutoff and half. It's 50% in the hijack, just to show you what it looks like once, just to show you that range.
Oh no, I lied on peak actually.
So
In implementable, it's pure fold from the hijack, pure open from the cutoff.
yeah.
In peak from the hijack, it mixes
Oh, it's heavy. There it is. I'm showing it. I'm showing it right now. 75% from the hijack, 100% from the cutoff. Same thing here. But also remember, anytime you see anything that is not 100%, that means the EV is zero. These are all zero EV opens that can be that in reality can be profitable if your opponents are making more mistakes than you are, which is good. And by the way, there's your king four suited in the wizard that we've been folding this whole time. There's a sliver of king four and a sliver of queen six, something like that, but we're not playing those. But the other thing that these do is they do nice things for your range in later streets. So this zero EV is worth playing if your opponents are going to make more mistakes than you pre-flop and more mistakes than you post-flop. But if you skip all the zero EV plays, you'll be fine. They're zero EV.
Yeah,
You'll be
I guess
fine.
the scenario would be like, if the big blind I'm significantly better at post flop, then play it, and if they're a good big blind and they're very crafty post flop, then don't play it, kind of scenario.
If the big blind overfolds to raises, then you should be raising this and this. if the big blind is overfolding, right? If the big blind is defending all of his range, you should absolutely be playing this because this dominates a ton of what he's calling with. If he calls 100%, if he's just a big blind who always defends his big blind, get in there. If
makes
these
sense.
guys here ISO at anywhere near the right frequency, never open
So
ace eight, and as
I'll
Derek
finish.
says,
Go ahead.
change tables. But yeah,
One thing,
oh yeah, go Andy.
one thing I was gonna say in determining like these mergey opens, one thing that I will think about and look at is obviously a small portion of that is how often they're defending their big blind,
Mhm.
whether way too tightly or way too wide. But another thing that I actually really look at, and probably a bigger determining factor for the mergey opens for my online at least. Live, obviously, it's a little harder to tell.
Yeah.
But online, I look at how well do they defend versus a flop C bet.
Good. That's good. I like that.
Because if they're even if they're defending their big blind at the optimal frequency, but then way over folding to C bets on the flop, I'm going to open wider, knowing that they're going to defend optimally. But when we get to the flop, they're over folding, so I'm getting that extra little bet in there.
Good. I like that. And then the other thing I would look at this more from the cutoff than the hijack, because the hijack, you still got, 3 people before you get to there. But if this guy's defending by calling all the time, great. If this guy's defense includes raises, I don't want to open the ace 9 offsuit here. I don't want to face 3. I don't want to play against a big blind who finds all this as a 3 bet.
That's fair.
Ace 9. Okay. So anyway, and this time, but you folded it this time, which is perfectly fine. Yep. You folded it. I don't care that it gave us ELO. It is 0 EV. There we go. Jack 10 suited.
Open.
No folds. No folds of Jack 10 suited here. Yes. Good. Open it. All right. You get raised.
100 big blinds deep.
Mm-hmm.
10% of the stack. Yeah, I'm gonna fold.
Okay. That's going to be too tight.
Too tight.
Here. Yeah.
Pure call.
Yeah. Jack
100%.
9. Take your Jack 9 fold. And let's just take a look at what this range looks like here. And I think against our opponents, this is correct. So your Jack 9 is folding, your 10-8 is folding, but your direct suited connectors, none of them fold.
I can say, and maybe it's a little too loose on my part, but like a Jack 10 suited in position against a 3 bet, even somebody who's under 3 betting quite a bit, I'm probably still going to a flop with it.
Yeah.
Just it's a hand that flops so well, it plays easily. And players tend to play really face up post. Like, I mean, unless I know their 3 bet range is exact from the big blind is exactly aces.
Yeah.
Well, also with that specific hand, if you're playing against someone who opens so tightly, you're just so much less likely to be dominated.
Yeah.
So that's
When
a
they're
pure.
3-betting super tight.
So it's pure call. In,
3 betting their ace jacks and their king jacks and their queen jacks. They're 3 betting aces, kings, queens, ace king, and maybe some ace queen. So
Exactly.
you're live and you're gonna, flop comes Jack 10 deuce rainbow. You're stacking aces, kings, and queens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
there is a caveat to that is I would not have that conversation with a newer, more inexperienced player who's never folding top pair on the flop. Where like us right now, we can talk about that because we understand like if flop comes Jack 7 deuce, we're probably not good if money starts going in.
right.
Yeah.
We're not folding to the flop, but we're not folding to 1 bet, but we're not taking that to the river.
I wonder if it's different in tournament world because I just switched from tournaments to cash like 2 weeks ago, and so my range is still kind of set.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And by the way, so I'm sorry, you didn't finish. Go on.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, so if you're in a world where their 3 bet is to 12 and bigger, though, your Jack 10 suited it, you're paying too much for it, and you fold.
Okay.
So this is the range from the wizard. The wizard has this guy 3 betting to 12, and you fold.
How do you adjust that when RFI is like 5x and then three bets are obviously larger because of that open size, but they're technically correctly sized based on the
I would
open?
do it as the percentage. I would, if I'm raising this to 5 and he goes to 15 and I'm 200 big blinds deep, I'm gonna call.
Hmm.
And if I'm 100 big blinds deep, I'm probably gonna fold.
What is the math? What's the rule for suited connectors? I know pairs it's 13x.
Those are older, but I've the one of them I heard was I've heard pairs at 10, suited aces at 15 and suited connectors at 20. I think I've heard. And then Bart Hansen's old one, if I remember correctly, was started at 15. It was 15, 20, and 25. But those aren't correct for the solver because you get 6-5 different than Jack 10 because the solver is looking at a lot more of what's going
Yeah, I
on.
mean, I think about that, but I'm honestly more worried about it being in position against in a three bet pot where I know I can usually outplay them.
Yeah. So the fold to a 3-bet with Jack 10 is not terrible.
Yeah, I
It
just
just
don't, yeah, I don't know. I guess just in game, like
Yeah.
just through experience, Jack 10 just,
Yeah.
you're not going to hit it that often for that big of a bet for 10% of your stack.
Yeah.
And if you hit your Jack, then you're worried the whole way down on a
Yes.
an ace Jack suited. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's
Yeah.
my calling range would be there.
Kind
But I
of a
guess,
player, especially live, who is three betting the big blind. We can call knowing like it's an implied odds call. You know that because we know what we're trying to hit. We know what we're trying to do. We also know, flop comes ace, king, queen,
yeah,
or king, queen, nine, like our jack tens the nuts, and we're stacking them because they're never folding a set or an overpair type of players. Like that's where the call comes from live. And online it comes from like that's kind of middle of our range where I mean if we're folding that too often, we're just getting run over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just
We
have to
have to
say
have
that
some of
you have to
those
be
hands in there for purposes of coverage and to maintain proper defense frequencies.
I guess that makes more sense than the calling of the Jack 10 by itself. Yeah.
yeah, live low stakes,
One
you gotta be able to lay down top pair whenever they're telling you they crash your top pairs, basically. The only thing I would add. It's like
And you just have to remember that
and I mean I don't know where your skill level lies, Lopez, in terms of cash games, but like we're talking about with this with the caveat that like if flop comes Jack seven deuce rainbow and they fire, half pot, we call because they're probably firing range, and then they fire another half pot bet on the three turn, multi, still rainbow
we
board. Like
start
we know our
folding.
Jack is no good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we start folding, and if we do, for the times that we do call, because maybe we pick up some equity on on a straight draw or something like that comes in, and then the river they triple barrel, we fold. And we go. Sometimes you
We're
bluff.
we're never going to showdown or putting all the money in the middle with one pair here.
In a
But we
three.
also know like Jack 10-3 rainbow, they're going to put all the money in with their aces, kings, and queens,
Yeah.
and we're going to stack them.
Okay. I think there's still some conversion on my tournament ranges versus, because because more,
So,
more
fun
times than
fact:
not, my
in a
studies,
tournament, eight max, 40 big blinds deep in a tournament, eight max. We opened a 2.3 from the hijack with Jack 10 suited. We get three bet to 9.2 from the big blind. Jack 10 suited in peak world is still a pure call.
it's a pure call there.
Pure call.
Yeah.
And let me see. So let's go down to 25 big blinds. Same situation. We raised to two. Big blind raises 7.2. Jack 10 suited is a pure call. Essentially, we're just
crazy.
never folding Jack 10 suited to a big blind three bet.
Okay,
This
that's good
goes-
to know. Yeah,
all right.
that's
All right,
good.
so here.
That's a 1 pip lower than my normal.
Yep. So in
Yeah.
this time, so we're going to call it this time, and you're going to play on to the flop, and he bets, and you have a gut shot.
On a gut shot, quarter pot, I'll call once.
Yep, I agree. We'll call.
Yeah.
Do we do any folding here?
I don't think I think you got the odds to call.
Yeah, I
mean,
think we call all the time.
we
I
are
think we
losing
never
one
fold.
spade. We are losing one queen with the, if the queen of spades comes, it puts us in a, well, I
Yeah,
guess it doesn't, we don't really lose that because we can actually represent that too. So I guess, no, I guess we're good.
yeah. And
Well, the
it's,
queen of
when the
spades
queen
comes,
comes,
he
it's hard
has
for,
like
when the queen
no
comes, it's
flushes.
hard for him to have a
Yeah.
flush because it's the ace king, because that's his jack high flushes. And he
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of those. All right. So, and we assume that there's going to be some sliver of raises here. We're not going to take it, but some, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty hard to represent
yeah,
that.
we thought that we thought
value.
that there was some raising in there, but it's the minority. Great.
You check to me?
You did.
All right. So his range is getting smaller. Maybe he's got king, queen suited, queens, jacks, things like that.
Yep.
I could represent a weak king or a weak, I did open, so I could represent an ace here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna represent the ace and try to get that to fold if I'm getting checked to.
Okay.
I'm gonna go at it's probably gonna take that. So what do I need to bet to get him off of a queens or a king jack, king queen? I'm gonna need to bet. I could probably get away with getting him off with pot size bet or 18 or 70%. So I'm gonna guess 18.4 to 7 to pot. So let's go. I guess to make it more sure, I go 30 blinds.
Now
Oh, we want value from his king.
right in the land of horse, we want to bet 18.4 and then jam. We want the king to call on the turn and then fold the river. That's what Brian just said. And there's one
Okay.
other thing. We may to get him to fold, we may have to tell him that we have the best hand twice, not just once, if he has a king. So that'd be a reason. And if we go 30 here, the pot jumps up to 90 and we have 60 left. And then he might just say, fuck it with a king on the river.
Okay.
It's only that much more.
That makes more sense. So this is
Right.
set up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other way to do it is we have equity. Let's take our equity and check. So those are our good choices. Which one do you want to do this time? Pot, 18, or check? Or
I'll split between 18.4 and 30. So I'll go 18.
All right, let's do the 18 this time. And perfectly happy to do 18. 18 was the size it does most. He calls.
So
That is a terrible card.
yeah, it is really pretty hard to represent the ace now.
Biscuit.
Yeah, the ace get there, and then the king.
Yeah.
He feels a lot stronger with his king at this point.
Does.
I don't like it, but I'm probably just going to have to give up on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's an option here.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard to represent.
I think the solver's still gonna do it, but miserably.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where the only way to get it is to bet pot and represent the ace, but he's gonna believe you a lot less. And if he's got king queen here,
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty hard for him to
I
fold.
hate that ace.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a spade or a queen or
Yeah.
a deuce, something like that. All right. So you're going to give up, and the solver mostly gives up. Now let's see if the solver gives up when it isn't an ace. Oh, that's also true. All of his bad aces that might have folded by the river, none of them are going to fold when that ace comes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if the river were different. Can we continue with this? All right. So on the turn, when he checks, our most common bet size is the 18. For the reasons that Brian brought up, that the horse does, and so does the solver. So that's great. 18, or maybe the solver's doing it for a different reason, but it does it. And lots of checking to take our equity. With a jack 10, we are happy to do both. Both are good. And when you have more equity, like the jack 10 of spades, you do it, you bluff it more. You take the move more. All right.
Makes sense.
Great. That makes total sense. Now, so we take the move. He calls us and we change the river. We brick the river, and the brickiest of bricks is the
Repeat 2.
3 of clubs. The repeat 3 is even brickier
Okay.
because what's he doing? How did he get here with a 3? Anyway, it's pretty bricky. And he checks. Let's bluff. Some bluffing. And the size of the bluff is all in, only all in. 10-9 of spades, loves it.
I think that's one of the few times that horse is giving up too, though. That's a hard card that's a really bad card.
The ace.
Yes.
Yes.
not the 3, not with the ace. Sorry, I was thinking about the ace.
Yeah. Yeah. Bluff all your spade draws. All your spades continue to bluff. All your pairs have showdown and go, give me my showdown. All your bad aces check behind. They don't go for value. Your good aces go to value town. And the only hand that doesn't bluff, this is freaky. The only hand that doesn't bluff that needs to bluff is the Jack 10. Every other one of them bluffs. So, and the Jack 10 still does some of it, but yeah, it's just sort of, I guess, how many bluffs you have.
Yeah.
If you were going to bet ace queen for value here, then I bet you can bluff the Jack 10. Or if you're going to, bluff these two, if you're going to bet these two for value, which by the way, I would. I'm betting ace queen for value on this board, aren't you? Oh, wait, it's, yeah.
Well, I
Ace,
think,
ace, 3-3 king. Yeah,
Yeah.
our queen no longer plays. That's why. These
Yeah,
are
you
all
just
the
get
same hand.
any
All right,
ace
let's
you
not
play
make it
there.
3. Let's make it 7. Let's make it a 7 of hearts. There. 7 of hearts. He checks. There we go.
Yeah,
Now we get
that
to
makes more
bluff.
sense.
Now we bluff everything. Because we get to value bet these. And now do we bluff this? Now let's say it is a spade that comes. Do we bluff the spade? Now these are no longer bluffs. These are all value. So now we bluff our pairs that weren't betting before on it. So these turn into bluffs. Right? So on the 7 of hearts, these were all checked back to beat a spade draw that they don't need to bluff. Pocket 10s, I guess, is value at that point. Who knows? And we have all these other bluffs now, like our Jack 10 bluffs. Okay. Anything more on that?
No, that was good. That was
right.
helpful.
There
Actually,
we
to learn from that one.
Okay. All right. Up next is Larry.
All right, it's my last one. I gotta take off. What's
All
your plan on Monday?
Monday is I think I'm gonna be there Monday. I think I'm
Oh,
gonna be with
good.
you guys
All right,
Monday.
cool.
Because I think I set up on Sunday, and then Monday the show is either at night or I don't even have a show on Monday, and I might have Monday off. And then I'd have shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know. But I think I'll be there Monday. If not, I can definitely open the room. I know I can.
Okay. Well,
All
just
right.
text me or call me if you're not
You
gonna
got
be
it.
there.
And if for some reason I forget, like I do, just call me on my
Sure.
phone. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go,
All
Larry.
right, A7, we get to open.
Yes, let's open.
This is an interesting flop. I wonder if we get big bets here. Um, I think we might get big bets here. I think I'm gonna take the pot size bet that it offers.
Pot size. All right. Go for it. Boom. You get big bets, but it doesn't love pot size. But he folded, and we love that.
Yeah, we love it.
All right.
All right, guys. Talk to you Monday.
Bye, Larry. Dean.
Yep, open.
That's just an open jam right there. Shipping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Exactly. Well, you run into that.
Only-
Mhm. No, we have to 4-bet it. Not all in.
Yeah.
Gotta rip those aces.
Do you want to 4-bet it?
No, not ace 3, but
Yeah, I'm gonna fold.
my spicy solver hand.
Yeah. Ace, maybe a little bit of ace 4 and ace 5.
Yeah.
3. Let's see
See
what.
ace 3's too low.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Nope.
No.
I just want
And the
this,
hijack is
perfect
doing
one.
the opposite.
It's the exact one you want.
It's calling the ace 4 and the ace 5, and the ace 3 is the one that it does it with. All right.
Minus 5 points.
Yep, for being in it.
We're gonna take this raise. We're gonna do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
You're Larry's tea with them.
Yeah. All right. And let's point out that, just to remind ourselves that it's not like you needed to have known that, because against this raise here, this solver likes to call the ace, has a little bit of the ace deuce, no ace three, and kind of calls these guys. And I would, if this
My
were me,
brain's fucked.
I would call the ace five, fold all these, and take that little bit of extra ace deuce and put it in ace nine. So I would call ace five pure, raise ace nine pure, fold all these. That would be my simplification. And then I would just miss the kings. I would just fuck them up entirely.
Peak must split the difference, go pop up to ace three instead of ace two, and take
Okay.
down some of the other top ones. So it's kind of mixes the middle.
Yep. But here you are. We're going to raise this one
Yeah,
and get
I wanted to
76%
anyways.
raises. Come on. Come on. Fold.
Oh,
Okay.
Mono
And
board.
we just-
First to bet wins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then we just always fucking range bet on 4 bets, like 11.4. I would have.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Boom. Just do it.
Please fold. He'll make me punt. Oh.
Oh,
Thank
well.
you. Yeah. Blue.
Yeah.
It's the
We gotta
blue.
go. Yeah. So I put him at that point when he called this, I go, okay, so you started with a pocket pair. Let's see what I can get that I can scare him away. But when this scare card that I wanted to use came and he bet, he's saying
What?
he's
It
saying the
said
guy's full of
call.
shit.
Wait, go back to that. Did it
I
say
know.
call?
He decided the guy was full of shit. That nobody bets out with their flush there. But
And I guess
yeah, let's see
they
this.
don't like bet out with their ace
Yeah.
five or something dumb.
All right. So hijack. Ace. So this is we found this. He calls. We go here on this. We are betting small, all
Mhm.
range. Every hand bets 11.4. There we go. He calls. And he bets out here. And what does he bet with? Nothing. He never does this. So if he bets this, which he did, he bets that. We're supposed to call with
This
ace
is a
three.
rare instance where Peak has leads
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
it is
flop.
weird, right?
No.
on the
It is
flop.
weird.
Oh, did the peak have flop leads?
Yeah, Peak had flop leads.
Peak has flop leads.
Slivers of leads on peak. Wow.
They did not correct that in a 3-bet pot. Okay.
4 pot.
Single
Four
raise.
bet. Yeah.
4-bet. Right. Okay. But he has a 3-bet hand. So he's got, and calling. All right. So anyway, so he does this. He bets out. We're supposed to call. We're not calling here. We're folding 100% of the time. We call. And the river is random. A 3. And when he bets, we fold, of course. We call sometimes. With the ace. Oh, well, we have the heart.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
We fold. And when he checks, do we turn this ace 3 into a bluff?
Yeah.
We do. That's why we can call, is that sometimes when he checks, we bluff. We bluff.
Wait, go back. How often does he check on the river? Like
2/3 of the
quite a bit,
time.
even queens.
Yeah.
Let's say we jammed. Is he folding his queen of hearts?
Not a hearts.
I didn't think so, but like
Hearts is
his hearts left. But I guess 7-8, like some of
You know
his
what?
shit, right?
Watch.
Pocket
We
eights.
check. He bets. So he checks. We bet. And you want to see what he folds.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see the folds here. Full height. Aces. He folds everything that
His
doesn't have a
queens.
heart. He folds jacks with a heart if he gets here. And now let me see if
He doesn't.
he gets here almost not at all. But if he does, yeah, this is such a weird
Mm-hmm.
branch. Because he just never donks. It's because of this.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, this is, here's this donk with 5-4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so he donks his straights. So he donks a straight.
Definitely in game, they're not like ever finding these slivers of.
Yeah. He donks a straight, and when he gets here with it, he folds a straight sometimes. To you. All right. All right. Up next is Mike.
Hey,
Hey, Mike. All
I
right.
joined late. Looks like I'm just getting caught up. Looks like we're doing hijack big blind.
Hijack big blind. And we're trying to remember to ask the question of GTO versus our opponents versus horse.
Yeah.
We're trying to remember to do that, but I don't always remember to do it because sometimes I just get involved in the minutia. 4-3.
That's a fold.
All right. Fold it.
Fold.
What's your bottom offsuit ace there?
I think I'm gonna mix ace nine.
Yep. Mix ace nine. And do you have any ace five offsuit there?
I personally don't. I wonder if
Peak has
I
a
wonder
little,
if the charts do, but I don't.
Peak has a little bit of it. And poker coach and the wizard, the wizard has basically none of it in this world. It's got a little bit of it. There we go, in the hijack. It's well represented in the cutoff is where the ace five comes in strongly. All right.
And when I say I mix that ace nine, I don't like roll anything. I just look at the opponents that I have behind me and decide if I'm gonna open it up and
right.
And I'll usually, just based on population, I will usually raise it.
All right. Who wants to give, is Lopez is still here. Lopez, do you play live or only online?
Both.
Both. Okay. When playing live, there is a very, very good determinant of whether you should be playing your ace nine offsuit here, better than any of the other things we've talked about. And it is the fold tell. Who wants to give the fold tell speech? I've given it enough times.
I want to
Oh, when
listen to
some-
you give
I
it
want to
again.
guess when someone's grabbing their cards already and like halfway mucking them, even though they're not, like holding them up about to fold.
Yes, but even better. Yeah, that's true, but it's even better than that. Mike, you want to give the fold tell speech?
Well, I don't play live, so I don't really pay attention to that sort of thing.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give the fold tell speech then, unless Andy, this is your chance. About to be me. Okay, it's me.
Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
All right, fine. Then
What
you
did I
don't,
do?
you don't get to give the speech. So the most reliable tell in live poker is the fold tell. It is, and the reason is because the person who exhibits it doesn't care that they exhibit it because they're giving up no EV by doing it. They're just giving EV to the person who sees it and taking it away from other people at the table. So guys, so the first thing they have to do is it has to be someone who looks at their cards in advance. So when you sit down at a table, the first thing you want to get about the other players is who's looking at their cards early. And if they look at their cards early, you start in every hand, even the hands you're not in, seeing if you can predict whether or not they're going to fold or not. Now, it's okay if you look at them and think they're not going to fold and they do. But it's when you look at them and say they're going to fold and you find out that you are right 90 to 100% of the time, and usually it will be 100%. You then use that for the rest of the session. And you always look left to see if someone's exhibiting it. And what it is there are people who do this. When they play the hand, they cap their cards. They put chips on their cards. When they're not playing the hand, they don't cap their cards. Or they go back to their phone to play with it. Or they pick up their cards and hold them as if they're going to fold them. Anybody who picks up their cards and acts as if they're going to fold them, if they are ever broadcasting a fake tell with that, you will have known it because you will have seen them do it earlier in the session. Nobody does this. Look at their cards, get ready to fold them, does that 4 times in a row, and then the 5th time decides to raise them. They're just done with the hand and they're trying to speed the game up. They think they're helping the game by keeping it going fast and like that. So you need to take advantage of that. So when you are in the hijack, you look to your left at the people who you know, who you've already decided exhibit a fold tell. You look at them and you see if they have it. If they're exhibiting it, you raise it because you're now in the cutoff. And you do that 100% of the time. Also, you can look and see, since you're looking for fold tells, you sometimes will see a reliable play tell. The play tell is less reliable than the fold tell. And that is, I like my hand well enough to play it. You can't tell if they like their hand well enough to raise it, but you know they're going to play. And people, this is a tell that people do differently because some people, if you think the play tell is I'm going to cap my cards, well, they cap their cards every time. So it doesn't work. Sometimes it's they're holding chips in their hand and they do that even when they fold, or they're holding chips in their hand because they're going to open raise it. But if you open, it's a folding hand, it's in between. So the play tell is not as reliable. Fold tell is 100%. When people have it 100%, you get to look at it, always take advantage of it. I'm done with the speech. There we go. All right. So Jack 10, hijack. Mike.
And the crowd goes wild.
Jack 10, offsuit, hijack.
Fold.
Fold. Sometimes raise though, right?
Never.
Okay.
Well, okay. If you're exhibiting fold tells, yes.
Right. It's a sliver. It's a sliver in the hijack. I mean, it's sliver. So you only need to play it then, but you don't just look at it and fold with it because you can play it sometimes, and in the cutoff you always play it. So look for the fold tell. Here we go. They fold it all the time, and the wizard, and the wizard has the Jack 10 that much. So who cares? Ace 5.
Yay.
Let's
We're
go.
gonna raise. And we're gonna 4-bet.
You're going to be so shocked if you get. You're going to be so shocked if you get raised here. What the actual 4-bet is in peak from the hijack. It's
Yeah, no, yeah. I take all of the. I use ace 5 and ignore all the rest that have little
Good.
slivers and shit like that.
Me too.
Just my simplification kind of thing.
Yep, it's a good.
All right.
But
We actually
in peak.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong thing. Fuck, I showed you the answer. All right. I was gonna say
Scotty.
pre-flop one. Peak's pre-flop
It's any consolation. I didn't see what was over there.
Peak's pre-flop is weird. Ace 5 and ace 4 call. Ace 3 is the raise. You don't need the fact that you do this with ace 5 is not wrong or anything like that. But we saw that today and went, what the fuck? Yeah. So that's peak. So when you're playing the peak game, now you know that. All right, ace 5.
Okay. This is kind of an interesting one here because I'm not entirely certain how we should advance here. I mean, we know we can bet. It's the size that we're going to do. And do we ever check back? I mean, it would be probably this hand wants to bet mostly with the occasional checking back, but let's bet. Theory wants to go, I'm going to say on the ace 7-5, probably the small side, certainly not pot.
Okay.
Against population, I am going to bet at least 3.3, if not pot.
Okay. Excellent. So I'm going to give you the population button this time to go forward the way we do it. You think the solver is more at 1.4. Now I have a question for you. What is the horse? What is the horse here?
Yeah, I don't know the horse very well. I know they go like he checks or goes like over bets on ace high flops.
Yep, over better check.
Right.
And what should this hand do in an over better check situation?
This one would be over bet.
Hell yeah. So in the horse we're going to over bet this. And what size are we going to over bet to? Do we think?
On the horse?
Yeah.
Doesn't he do like 150?
Yeah, sounds good. That sounds right. About 8. Yeah, I like that. Now
I'm thinking solver wants to split between the small and the medium and the small and big.
Okay, sounds good. And we're gonna go. Oh, you think the medium? You think the medium is that it barbells out and doesn't do the medium?
No, well, okay. So this is peak because they have a pot size. I usually study with Wiz, so usually 33 or 75, and then over bet. So throwing in a pot size in here kind of throws me off. I'm not sure how they want to do it. They might want pot here.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go one more thing before I hit the button for you. This is going to be the one, which is, do you ever check back this hand in GTO world?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Which do you check back the most? Ace 5, 7,
our hand
5,
in
or
particular.
ace 7? What?
Oh, I was going to say our hand in particular, spades or hearts. But
sure. But I'm going with a different one. Ace 5, ace 7, or 7-5. And you don't have
one.
You don't have
which one would you check back more often? I think we check back the top and bottom more often.
Yep, me too. That's what we're gonna check. All right, so here we go. So you said, which size did you decide to go for your
Let's go
peak? Yes,
3.3.
3.3. Yep, sure. It's there. We'll go look closer. You check raised.
Good.
Good.
Do I want to 3-bet here? Probably against population, I might 3-bet here, but I think solver just wants to call.
I like the call here. We're not even positive we have the best hand here.
Right.
We're just not folding.
What size is that? 24?
Pot.
That's
He's
pot?
He's betting all
30?
in the river.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so it's real small. 24?
He bet pot, yeah.
Yeah,
Next-
okay, 24.
Yeah, the next size coming is gonna be all in.
With the double flush draw out here, I think we are going to be incentivized to just repop here.
Okay.
So,
Repop
but
jam.
I definitely would in against opponents. Solver may still want to slow play some of this, but let's pop it in here.
All right, jam. It wanted a call. It's just not
Yeah.
confident that it's not confident it has the best hand. And he folded. All right. So he folded. All right. So let's look at some of our assumptions here. Okay. So on the flop, when it comes to us on the flop, our two pair ace five here,
A lot of checking.
a lot of checking, goes half the time checks. When it bets, this one likes the small size. Our ace seven checks half the time. And so the difference here is unimportant. This one checks 52. So technically we're right. It's 52 to 51, but there's no real difference. That was a silly question. Didn't go anywhere. All right.
Sizing kind of split between the middle. Small
Sizing, the ace five prefers the smaller size, but it's perfectly happy with the 3.3. And it doesn't like the pot. Again, and then with the ace seven, same thing. It just does it a little more. And the horse goes over pot. The horse is very different here than GTO. All right. We do that. And now when he re-raises us, how often do we 3-bet him? Ace five, never. Ace seven a little, because ace five can lose to ace seven. They can all lose to sets. Right. And when we have our top set, we like to raise. And we like to raise most without a diamond. When we don't have a diamond, we raise because he has more diamond draws and we would like to charge him for them. We have a diamond, we don't care as much. We're safer.
Now, let's see. So, what are his low equity raises? Because this is why I was like, yeah, I think we want to call a lot here, but
Yeah.
Exploitatively, I'm just gonna like basically against most like normal opponents, aka fishy. On the fishier side, I will just fast play it as opposed because they're not going to have probably the appropriate low equity bluffs. Their raises are going to be either high equity, like flush draws and straight draws,
Right.
and they're going to have ace and ace. It's going to be value and equity driven.
Right.
So what are their crappy raises?
Yep, I'll show you that in 10 seconds. I want to just the interesting thing here. So aces, which aces do a lot of raising, sevens do a lot of raising, and fives are already not sure that they're not up against sevens. When fives trap more than sevens, it's not because they're trapping more, they're actually more afraid. So that's why ace five and ace seven are afraid, I think. All right, now the thing you said. Let's look at his range. So his raise size is always this. And let's see, what is his garbage? Gut shot, with or without diamonds. Bottom pair with a backdoor straight card. With or without, can't be diamonds. Same thing. So
So his 5X hands are his low equity stuff.
Yeah, 3-5, yeah, 3-5, 5-4. 6-4 is high equity. And the 5X is the lowest equity because the threes at least can have diamonds.
And then he's got like gut shots in here that we consider low equity or
You're talking about, the gut shot, the 3-4,
3, 4,
3
9,
4 is
8,
3-4 is a gut shot and is low equity.
9, 8.
9-8 on that flop.
Stuff like 6, 7. These are all hands that the population is not going to be check raising.
No, they're going to be check calling. Yeah. And 9-8, they're going to be folding. 9-7, they're going to be calling. And then 10-7, they're never, this is never happening. 10-7 being erased, but the solver's almost never doing it. And then here, they're high, the ace-7, stuff like that, and their various aces. Some of these diamonds are going to go. People will do with, you got a diamond draw, they might check raise you with a diamond draw. An ace high flop. Not very often. Mostly they're going to call you. So set, two pair, and everything around it is where it's concentrated. And the reason I think, and the reason it didn't go here for your jam was it does not believe it has the best hand yet. Ace-7 it was willing to do it with.
Yeah.
Ace-5. 7-7 it was willing to do it with, not 5-5. I don't think that these are
Yeah.
traps.
And our good opponents probably aren't going to be taking this line with as many ace X, whereas I think some fishier type will be here with their any ace X, ace, queen, jack, 10, 9, ace 6, ace 3, even.
So we call here and we get an 8 of diamonds. That's not very random.
Diamonds. Ooh, that
And
would
now
suck.
he jams with that, and we are folding ace-5
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Ace 5 would be
That's a
like
diamond.
shit.
Yeah, that's a diamond though. Let's not give him a diamond. Let's go with a there are no bricks, by the way. There are no cards that are bricky. Let's go with a 9. Let's go with a 10. Let's go with a super brick. 10 of spades. Super brick. Super brick, and he's been setting up for a jam. He jams it. Ace-5 doesn't fold very much. 5-5 doesn't fold very much. So the idea here was that these were not value hand. I mean, why did we not raise this? Because we were just praying to get to the river safely with these hands. They fold some, whereas 7s never fold. Aces never fold. There's your difference. Not much folding with ace-5. A little bit. And then the 5s, by the way, the 5 they fold is with a spade, because when we have a spade, he is less likely to know that's not why. There's no reason. There's no reason. So it's the heart spade. Yep. I will not even pretend to understand why the heart spade does it. All right. Anything else on that hand? Nope. Okay. Dean went. So Andy goes.
Imagine everyone got scared off
They
today.
did. Yeah. Well, it was enough time. We'll see if they come back.
Okay.
That was a long. I mean, we're going.
It
long.
is.
We do longer than the normal people.
Yeah, then the little boy
Little boys
poker.
with their little. And then I'm gonna play a tournament to be special. Okay. Ace Jack. I mean,
You're
ace
open.
pure open. Good.
I think this is mostly a check back. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, we have a gut shot, so I think it's either going to be a bet, like bet 3.3, or it's going to be a check back. I'm going to go mostly check back though.
And I'm gonna push your bet from
with range, not just this Arctic combo specifically, but I think this is mostly a range check.
Yep. I'm gonna push your 3.3 down to 1.4 because there is locked up equity that he has. He has 6-8.
Okay.
So we're gonna check this one and then we're gonna look at the range and I think the range, so yep, it loves checking this. And
You were right. It is check or 1.4.
yeah, but we didn't see the overall range size. So we'll do that. When we come back, we'll see if the overall range is check and 1.4, which I think it is. Hey, would you like the
We
nuts?
get there and he checks again.
Yes.
Is this going to be let's get it in now at 5.5 and just bet big? Big, I guess 5.5 still medium, but or is this an overbet? Oh, this is where I always fuck up my sizing.
So
Spots like this. I know that.
so let's think about his range. What will so he has a bunch of hands that are folding to anything. We ignore all those. So what are we going to get?
He
What do we
checked twice. He doesn't have shit.
Yeah. What can we get called by here?
Single nine, a naked nine, maybe even a naked seven.
Yep. And
Oh,
he
he
can
doesn't
have
have
those, right?
many sevens other than he just doesn't. I think even a lot of nines lead here.
On the 4 flush? I mean, on the 4 straight?
Maybe not. Yeah, he might have. I guess he could have some two pair.
Hmm.
He could have some naked nines, some naked, and not really any naked sevens, but he definitely has some two pair with the sevens. He can have a couple of sets that would have check raise flop, but then when the 4 straight comes, they're going to decide to check and evaluate.
He can have king 7 suited here. He can have ace 7 suited here.
So maybe it is just like a medium 3.3 and evaluate.
Okay. And go 3.3. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think it's 5.5. I really do, but I think
let's do it. Like the 3.3. 3.3 is what it was all about.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So on the flop, our sizing across range on the flop is, okay, that's us.
1.4.
1.4. There. Yep. Lots of checking.
Mostly a range check. I mean,
Yep.
most of our range checks.
Most of our range checks, and we have just very little bigger than that on this board. Makes total
See,
sense.
like I look at predominantly what I would consider more of a range check is when you look like the checking is fairly evenly distributed between every hand in our range. There's nothing that favors betting way more heavily, unlike when we get to the turn chart.
Yep.
Where there's a lot of hands that much prefer checking, but then some that just want to go huge.
Yeah. Ace 9 loves, nobody is betting here more than 60% of the time. And even ace 9 is checking the majority of the time. 9-9 is only betting 54%. Nobody's betting 60% of the time.
Nines are.
Not bottom set, not middle set.
Pocket nines are betting slightly over. If you hover over, go over nines, they're checking 36, 38, 36. So yeah, they're betting 60+%. And that's the only thing betting
You're
that
right.
heavy.
Yeah, you're right. They're the only ones that are 60.
Everything else is majority check.
Yeah, including ace 9, which is the one that you would
Yes.
think would be so vulnerable. And these lower nines, oh my God. Jack 9 and things like this, they just never do it.
I think that comes from a place of like the ace 9, king 9, the smaller nines comes from a place of it, checking there. We're thinking it's protecting our checking range.
Yes. And also they're beaten by the bigger nines.
Yes, that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have that. When we get to here, the range likes 3.3. When it bets, it likes
It
3.
still likes to check a lot.
Yeah, it bet checks a lot. 10-8, which is nuts now.
Right.
And then these 8s, which are just fine. Okay. Yep, but 3.3.
And look at the frequency of like 10-9 now and how much that goes up.
Yeah.
Especially, wow, 10-9 likes to just hammer it.
It does because 10-9 is often the best hand. And when an 8 comes, it's still the best hand. Whereas Jack 9
blocks 10-8 and some of the other straight draws.
it blocks the nuttest of nuts. Yep. And now we're kicker driven again. Jack 9, Queen 9, King 9, with the Ace 9 being weird.
Likes to go a lot more than Ace 9 though.
Yeah. Yep.
Why? I wonder why. Oh, because Ace 9 needs less protection.
Yeah. King 9 beats Queen 9, Queen 9 beats Jack 9, and he'll call with those. Ace 9, while Ace 9 beats King 9. You don't mind keeping in an ace high. Ace highs are still there. And you get to cool with them with 2 pair on the river if an ace comes. King 9s are already gone. No, we went check, check. Nobody's gone. That doesn't make sense at all. Never mind.
Nothing. All of our ranges are still completely intact.
Yeah, all of our ranges are completely intact. Yeah.
It's just kind of wild. Like obviously 10-9 loves going hard in the paint there, and we get why.
Yep.
Same thing with 10s.
You could not be more reverse linear on your overpairs.
Right.
98% check, 80% check, 90. Okay, here we go. Yeah, queens. I'm doing it the wrong way. Because I'm looking at the wrong. I'll look at that one. 98, 80, 96, which is weird, and then it drops down.
So do you think more of like why our range likes to check so much on the turn, Dean? Because the big blind smashes that flop
Yeah.
so much harder than we do. That it just we want to check our whole range, and basically the computer's saying we'll see what they do on the turn.
Are they supposed to donk out a lot of 8s? I missed the turn
Strategy. Let's see what their
turn
strategy is.
strategy.
Oh, they donk all over the place. They donk.
Really, a donk
they
at this
donk
point, it's a probe because we check
Yeah,
the flop.
right.
So
yeah.
They probe. Yeah, they probe.
But look at their checking ranges wise. Like we can bet jacks. That makes
Yeah,
more
70%.
sense now. Because like
Yeah.
when they check, they're not checking other than ace 8. They're not checking any 8s.
Yeah.
our equity graphs, Scotty.
Okay. Equity, total equity. Boom. Equity graph.
No, right below that equity graph.
Yeah, equity graph. Got it. They're killing.
They just have us crushed range for range. That's why we're checking so much. I mean, we know that obviously.
Yeah.
It's just this is a specific instance where like we can see it.
Yeah.
And it's super obvious that they just. I mean, you look at they're checking. They're supposed to bet 84% of the time on this turn when the flop goes check check.
We are never.
And we are, if they check, we're still only betting 40% of the time. We are just so far behind range versus range.
But it makes sense why I was just wondering why we're betting jacks on the turn so much, like not on the flop when it needs way more protection. But on the turn, when a 4 straight hits, we're betting it. But it's because they checked on the turn and they never checking an 8. So all their range is like ace queen and like shit that we still need protection
on
from
the turn. Our range is so crushed that we don't want to get check raised, which a good player should be check raising a ton on that turn.
When they check, our range isn't crushed anymore.
You mean when they check the turn, not when they check.
When they check the turn.
Yeah,
that's what I said. But on the flop, we're so crushed that we're checking most of our range back because we just don't want to get check raised off our equity.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, and now we get to the turn and they check again. Like, we know at that point, we want to start protecting our jacks and start getting value. Where plus, I think jacks bet a little bit more because they block some of the, they block, I guess, jack 8, they block some of the value they can have. I mean, when we go to, let's take a look, Scotty, if let's say our response, bet the flop. So just go to the flop. What's the
When we take
biggest
our bet, it's always
consensus?
1.4. 1.4 is the only size that we have on this flop.
Okay, so then let's bet 1.4. So we bet one. Now, what's their raising responses? I mean, they have a lot of check raise. I guess not as many
Fair
as I
amount of
thought
check,
there
a
would
fair
be.
amount of check raise, but look at how often they fold.
Never.
They
I mean, not never, but you get it.
yeah.
I honestly, I thought there would be a lot more check raises than what
Yeah.
they have.
But it is still robust. It's still 17% check raise. That's a lot.
True. That is a lot. I honestly thought we'd be approaching 20%.
Yeah. And it's with hands that include, pocket eights, jack eight, queen eight, king six.
Just likes to check raise a lot.
Yeah, check raises a lot. Ace five doesn't do it. King five doesn't do it. The sevens don't do it. Your sevens do it very little. 8-7, they do it a little. And your nines do it some. So it's monsters, monster, monster, monster. Draw, draw,
Polar.
draw, 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 draw.
Which is, as it should be in reality.
Yep. All right. There we go. We are back to whose hand was this? Whose was that last hand? Do we remember? I don't remember. Might have been
I think
Mike's.
it was Dean's.
Mike's. No,
Okay,
I
that
didn't
was
do that one.
Okay.
No, I didn't do that. It was Mike's.
No, I
Okay.
don't have that one either. Ace eight.
No, yeah, the ace eight. Who had the ace eight suited? I think it was Dean.
That was me.
No,
I
it
think
wasn't me.
that was me.
Oh, that was you. All right, Andy had
That
ace
was
eight.
me.
All right, Andy. So up next is Dean, I think. I didn't write down the order.
Queen four.
Queen four.
Fold.
Fold.
But from the button.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fold. Open.
Mm-hmm. And some folding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
Fold.
Yeah. Instant fold.
Open.
Open. All the time.
Open Gundam style. Ah. Are you raising this?
No, I'm leaving the thing. I haven't moved it.
I was like, what are you doing? Can we call? I like to defend. Jack 10 suited, right? You said you fold Jack 9.
Yep.
So fold.
Yep. Let's look at it again. Let's look at the peak with a nice simplification. Easy to play, not wrong. Play your suit. For a two gap. What the hell? Oh, no, that's my current
You're
rate.
already on the next hand.
I'm already on the
So
next.
you have to look at. So Scotty, one thing we could do is say your action, which obviously we know this is an open.
And then good. And then look at it.
Say your action, and then before you click any buttons, then you hit the arrow, and it'll show you the range.
Good idea. All right. So,
Open.
you folded that, so it's still you, Dean. You get to go.
Open.
Open. Good.
I would bet 1.4.
Okay.
See, so now before you click
But
that,
it's probably
Dean
bigger,
locked in his
though,
1.4.
Yeah, we'll look. Yeah, and
You can expand it.
I like bigger, actually.
Yeah.
The 9.
If this were king queen 8,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go 3.3 with range on this board, and 6-6 is in my range, so I'd bet it. But king queen 9, there is locked up equity that he has. He has jack 10 off suit here sometimes, and he definitely has jack 10 suited. So I'm not jumping up for the bigger thing.
Mike wants to check.
Yeah, I
Mike,
would check
check
here.
fold.
I'm with Scotty. I agree. I think the king queen and anything less than like 8 and less, I'd like a bet. But this board is, I think, really tough for our sixes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So
he
let's
still has like Jack X, 10X that he's going to call with, and we're on turns that are like, what?
It's hard for us to bet across the turn here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, even a
So
diamond.
now, when you click this right now, Scotty, open,
I'm gonna get-
expand that out.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna get.
the combo actions, that's our specific combo. That's not range.
Oh, these here.
Yes.
Oh, nice. And this
That
is,
is literally our combo.
Okay.
Now it's range.
oh, nice. That's good. Okay. So our combo,
Basically
but
betting
we are
range.
still checking. We're still checking. I mean, we're still basically betting range here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our bet size, it still likes the big size even with this 9. So I was wrong about that.
So let's see what the range bet looks like. Go to click. So our biggest bet, it really mixes between the 3.3 and the 1.4 for range.
Yep, it does. And our combo prefers the 3.3. Yep. All right. And what were you going to do? You had
I
actually
said
said,
1.4.
let's do it. 1.4. It's not wrong. He folds. Yay.
Ah, yay.
Yay. All right. Here we go. Brian.
Even though we had like probably the best hand, it still feels good when they fold on that.
Does.
Hello.
Hello. Brian folds. All right.
Fold.
Here we go.
Ryan
Brian.
folds in his sleep. He's a nit.
Such a nit, Brian.
I'm such a nit. Fold.
All right.
He gives
Brian.
Larry shit for being an old man coffee.
Think that you can open this.
Okay, you can. Is it a pure open?
No.
Nope. And what's the most important thing in deciding whether this is going to be an open or not in game?
Look to your left.
Yeah. More than what is your big blind like? Look to your left, get a clear answer. Then how often does your big blind fold? How often do you get 3-bet and all that stuff? Good.
If we're live or online.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian's a live player mostly, right?
Yeah,
So
we're talking live. Yeah.
Yeah,
Online,
live.
it's how often do you get 3-bet behind? And then what's your big blinds folding range? What's your big blinds fold to steal? But it's mainly the 3-bets. All right. But this time, which were you going to do this time? Did you say fold?
Raise it.
You're going to do the raise. All right. Take the raise. Good. We got the raise. And that was the fold tell we saw. Great. Hey.
Okay. I think that GTO is going to do a bit of range betting, and I would also bet for 1.4.
I like it. Okay, 1.4. And before I push the button, how much 3.3 do you think the range has here?
It's gonna be a little bit more than if it was um a flushing board, like a two-tone board.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it will
think you
have
are. Oh, go
I
on.
think it'll have some 3.3, but I would bet small here for
Fine.
the
Yeah.
reasons that you guys know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this board's going to have some 3.3 in it. And it does. It likes the 3.3, but it loves the 1.4.
it's our combo. What's the range do?
Oh, our combo range. Right, yeah. Range
Say
likes some
1.4.
It's a 1.4, but it likes some 3.3. That's good. And our hand likes likes the 3.3 more than the range does. So great. We're going to do the 1.4.
1.4.
0.4. There we go. Just don't raise. I don't care if you call, just don't raise.
Okay, check. And we get a card that is interesting.
And side note, this is how I always do it when I'm going through the trainer on my own, is I decide on my action, then I expand the range bar and I see what the correct answer is and I try and think about why. And then obviously I still choose the action that I was going to choose.
Yeah.
On this one, so in game, I would bet small again. I don't have showdown value. I don't care if they fold, and I want him to raise his good shit. I want him
Right.
to raise a king now when
Recap
he,
him.
yes. And then I think this card is like slightly better for me than him, technically, in GTO world. I I don't think it's a bad card for me. I think that ace would technically GTO world be bad, and basically any card other than this card is not ideal in GTO world. I think this is the only card that's actually decent that I'd be continuing to bet on a lot. So I think I'd still be betting small, but closer to like 5.
Okay,
Mm.
so you're gonna take which small?
I would bet 4, so let's go with 5.
All right, we're gonna take the 5.
We want to look Peakford. Oh, nope.
Loved it. Yeah, next time I'll peek it. It loved it. And
I'm now not loving it.
yeah,
So I mean, honestly, this is pretty much a fold. I don't even want to. I would consider betting here. I would consider calling here if it was a more aggressive player and I still have a draw that can cooler his kings. But I mean, it's just such a low equity draw. You only have
I
what,
want to
8?
fold. Oh yeah, I want to fold
Yeah,
here too.
yeah.
And
I want
yeah,
to.
yeah, and we're gonna call queen 10 suited with a club.
Yeah, if I had a little bit more equity, I would call, but I would just want to fold here. Against Solver now, this is a bad card. Solver World, the Solver brain would be thinking that this is a bad card for me. I shouldn't be betting this card. So this should be super polar, this bet here. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I would
Not a
just
bad card.
fold.
No, this is not a bad card for your range at all. You have a lot of kings
No,
that would have played in
no,
this.
no. I'm saying that solver, like in the person I'm playing against, this is a bad card for their range, for big blind range.
Yes.
So
I
this
don't know
bet
about
should
that.
be
I don't know about that. I think it's actually
Remember,
not
it's
bad
their
for them
filter.
because the pair's the top pair, top pair. When you bet the flop and they call, they get rid of all their junk
And you still have
yeah.
it.
continue with their top pairs and their weak middle pairs and draws, right?
Well,
And
yeah,
we
you're right.
still we still have kings for sure. We still have king in our hand, but we also still have a lot of bluffs.
That's true. I'm saying that in general, though, overall, this is one of the only turn cards that is technically still good for my range after it goes bet call on the flop.
You're talking about my range as in the hijack range.
Hijack range, yes. Like it's one of the few cards because I'm pretty sure I could be wrong on this, but
Deuce.
most
This is
other
good for
cards
range.
are not great.
A
I
deuce,
mean,
a
dude,
three, a
yeah,
blank. Yeah. Deuce is
I think
easy.
this one is actually like better though in general. Like
Okay.
those ones are basically neutral. This one's actually good for me.
Oh, okay.
I believe. I could be wrong on that, but at least from what I've seen from studying in master class, this is generally going to be a good card for my range. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
so we folded. Did they
Right.
show what they had?
They, let's see. Well, let's look what they had. Let's see. Did you happen to get bluffed this time by the man who has, is he going to tell us? We look at it, hand results. Yeah, he bluffed you.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm okay with laying that one down.
He's that guy. Yeah, he's that guy. Your opponents didn't bluff you there.
Yeah, no. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'll take it.
How do I get out of this mode? Oh, I have to hit close this. Then I have to hit this. There we go. All right. Has everybody gone this round except for me?
I think so, yeah.
Andy, did you go?
Yeah, you did the ace eight hand.
Okay, that's you. All right, so I have ace nine suited. I will raise ace nine suited because I'm that kind of a guy. If I get three bet, I'm gonna call. I didn't get three bet. All right. This hits his range all over his. This is a good one for me to check.
Oh, we forgot to expand and look.
I did forget to expand and look because I was confident. All right, the 7 goes. I still have showdown value. Let's go to the river with showdown value. In game, after you check to me twice, am I ever going to bet here to try to just not give any draws to your queen 10, which is just terrible? Yeah, sometimes. It's probably not good of me, but I do it sometimes.
Maybe it's a leak of mine. If they check twice, I bet 100% of the time, and I usually like a B66.
Yeah. And I was going to check, I've decided I was going to check this one for GTO reasons. your hands that are winning at showdown do very little betting.
Yes. Well,
Uh,
yeah, and obviously in GTO land, it's we
ace
know
king.
it's a check, but
Yeah.
in real exploitative play, real
You
poker
can do it.
land,
You can do it.
nobody is disciplined enough to check value twice or to check a hand
Yeah.
that has showdown value twice. So, especially when we check back the flop, they're gonna bet all of their everything,
Yeah. Yep.
which means they have nothing. They aren't protecting their checking range with two
Yep.
checks ever.
Right. Yeah. So we can bet it. We can bet it and get a hand that we have beat and crushed, like king eight to fold, but it does have 6 outs. So why not get it to fold? All right.
And we can
Check.
get a lot of times get the pocket, maybe get pocket fours, pocket fives to fold. They'll
Not for
fold to
one
the
bet.
second bet on the river.
Yeah, you got to bet the river for that. All right, here we
You
go.
gotta tell them twice sometimes.
Yeah, you do. And it's harder to do it in a situation where you wouldn't, where it doesn't fit your play.
Right.
You know, this is an easier one. Now, if the river comes ace, king, or queen, your bluff can get through. All right. And the 8 comes, and I have showdown value, my friend. I don't need to bluff. There we go. Let's win. Check and win. How did he get? Did they just give him the money? No, I got the money. That was the ELO score going up.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I was going, no. Yeah, that's what that was. Okay. And we'll go back. We'll do it in the order that it shows on this grid now. All right. So, Dean. Queen nine,
Yep.
Dean.
Fold.
Fold. Yep. 100% fold. Pocket eights.
Crazy daisy.
Crazy daisy.
Call.
Right. And do we ever fold eights here? Is this a mix or a pure call?
Eights. It might have a little bit of folds, but I think it's a call. Mostly.
Yeah. If he goes to 12, we probably have.
Sevens that probably mixes a lot more, right? Like
Yeah, let's see what the mix
50-50.
is.
Take a peek.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Pure.
Sixes.
Yeah. Yeah, sixes
It's
and
pure.
five mix, and then tens have this freak thing that we're just not going to do.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to fold that freak 10 there, but we could mix sixes and fives, or we can fold the fives all the time and call the sixes all the time. Oh, that's good. All right, we call.
Or just call both all the time, like me.
Yeah, you can do that. That's okay. It's okay. All right.
Mm. Do we call one and see? It's like the third pair. Just doesn't feel good. Yeah, fold actually.
Yeah, I'm just folding. Yep, just fold. I like it. Okay. Andy.
I want to see if I got bluffed then.
It's a raise.
Okay. Too late.
But you feel free to expand it. I'm a proponent of
Yeah. Okay.
expanding every time, even though
Yeah.
we're confident with the answer. It
I
gives
think
us
that's a good idea because we might
it's
see something
repeated
interesting.
looking at the
Huh?
range and what the range is doing is gonna,
Yes,
it
I
has
agree.
some value.
I agree. And no, you were not bluffed.
No. Feels
All
better.
right, now
You were
I
beat.
get
All right. Ace jack.
3-bet here, and this one, I think this mixes between a call and a 4-bet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with call, but I think it mixes probably 75% call, 25% 3-bet.
Right.
Somewhere close to that.
And the other day I was in this situation. It was a tournament, not a cash game, but we were deep, deepish. And the flop comes down 9, 10, queen. And I think there might have even been a spade in there. And he jams, for pot. And I said, overcard, overcard, maybe my
Open-ended.
first draw and open-ended. I call. And he had exactly king, king. So I had exactly the 9 outs. So I actually was getting about a third. And I lost. And that was in the poker coaching overlay one. All right. So here we go.
Oh,
Ace
I was
jack.
wrong. It is pure call.
Pure calls. Yeah, it's jump. Yeah. And we saw
So
this
the king
before.
jack is where the 3-bet or where the 4-bet is. Okay.
Yeah, there's your bluff, king 10. King 10, king jack are your bluffs. Aces are your value, kings are your value, ace king is your value, and everything else it just goes, let's go to the flop.
Yeah. I knew one of those. I knew one of the big
Yeah.
suited jacks was gonna wanted to 4-bet some portion of the time, and it was king
Yeah.
jack. Okay.
King jack, king 10, no nines. Nines don't have any 4-bets. There is no
Fold.
9 with a 4-bet.
Always fold your ace queen off.
Yeah. Yeah, folding ace queen off there. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna call.
Call. Dream flop. Dream flop. Come on. Not a dream flop.
Backdoor, 2 overs.
Backdoor 2 over.
Yahtzee.
Versus, I think versus a small size, this would be a mandatory peel. Versus this bigger size, I don't know if I think we're gonna start folding a lot more.
I'm gonna fold too.
Um,
Oh, you want to hear tomorrow? Okay, so
All the
decide.
I think it's gonna be fuck. I think it's mostly a fold. I'm gonna say fold, but we're definitely gonna have some continues. It's not nothing's gonna be pure at this point.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a freak question. Okay, so we know you're gonna fold ace jack of hearts more than you're gonna fold ace jack of spades. My question is, any difference between ace jack of spades and ace jack of diamonds? I have a prediction.
So
What? I predict
I
the
don't
ace
think
jack of
so.
diamonds. I predict the ace jack of diamonds continues more than the ace jack of spades. We'll find out. All right.
Well-
So anyway, your hand can
It's to call, almost pure.
loves to call. You have a backdoor. They have lots of bluffs.
The hearts fold.
Right. But you fold 9.4% of the time. Therefore, it is not an EV loss to call, to fold. Because you are folding here sometimes. Now, you chose which one? You chose the fold, right?
I chose fold, but let's go and stay in the call line.
Yeah, let's suffer. Let's suffer on the call line. And then we'll go back and look at the suit question. All right. Would you like to
Now it's in, oh shit, we just picked up a gutter ball, but I think it's just a
not
fold.
pick up a gutter?
Janet.
Oh, you did pick up a gutter,
With the
but your
gutter.
gutter is just to a 6.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any 6s.
It's a fold.
Yeah,
An
he's
easy
a-
fold at this point.
Yeah, he's made it clear. Okay. And this one here. Oh, not that. This. Go.
We did get bluffed.
Yep.
What did he bluff us with?
Queen
King
jack.
jack diamonds.
Jerk. Okay. So on here, we're looking at our flop. It goes raised. So he bets out, and on our ace jack, hearts never does it, of course. And I said diamonds would call more than spades, and I was right by 1%.
One
The
calls even
clubs
more.
flow the most.
And clubs do it the most, and I can't answer that. But I just my reason was that I had seen the pattern where around the top card, it's more. But I didn't know. I don't know why the middle card does it the most. And is it the freakish ace 5 suited his bluff that he has ace 5 suited bluffs, but he doesn't have ace deuce and ace 7?
I don't know.
He can have. All right. I don't care. Moving on. I said it wasn't important, and now I'm not going to spend more time.
Nah, it's like 0.5%.
Yeah. All right. There we go. And we are on.
Gents, I gotta roll out of here.
Bye, Andy.
I gotta get ready for this game. Good session today, and
All right. See you Monday.
I will hopefully make it on Monday.
All right. Mike.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah,
Bye,
good
Andy.
luck out there,
too.
Andy.
See you.
See ya.
Was that a game like a poker game?
Who knows?
What do we got? Jack 6. That's probably kind of close, but fold.
Yeah, let's fold. Okay. 10-8.
10 to fold.
Okay, I thought 10-8 was a raise in this one. Yes, 10-8 is. I think 10-8 is a raise here, but they don't do it on the king. Let's just take a look. I think that this is the freak thing it does here. Yeah, this one has the 10-8, but not the queen 8. which is different than,
Oh yeah, remember that in peak, yeah.
yeah, it's different. It's a peak difference. So no reason to know this, but you're going to play it this time because you have to suffer. Yeah. And there's absolutely no reason to make one choice over the other one. Ooh, nice.
Um, let's default wants to check, but do we ever just kind of do we have a fairly decent range bet here? And do we include 10-8 in that? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna check because it's probably what I would do.
Okay. So checking not bad, but we think that this king 8 6 board is very close to range bet and the 10-8 is in range. So we certainly can bet it.
Hmm.
Check. Yep. Yeah. So nothing wrong with the bet. And now we forgot to look quick enough.
Okay.
Oh, didn't get there in time. All right. I forgot to do it. Look to see just how much of a range bet it really was.
We're definitely checking.
Yeah. Check now. We're not definitely. We're just still checking.
Let's split 50-50.
Yeah. We're getting more on it. Go check.
And be prepared to
Call a
bluff
bet.
catch here.
Yeah. Call a bet.
Okay, so we've checked every street.
Yeah.
We are just beating a shit ton here.
Yeah.
And if we bet, I mean it's just checking.
Yeah. Just check. Absolutely. All right. Now let's look at that one thing on this. And he gets his ace jack, which wasn't folding anyway. So let's look at whether we really could range bet this, how much of a range bet the flop is. And then be done with that. All right. Here's the flop. Here's us. No, this is not a range bet. Absolutely not. And our 10-8.
Our 8x tends to still kind of bet like a decent, well, it's 10-8, king 8, and ace 8. So one of them's two pair and two of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Okay. And our 10-8 was,
Clubs.
we were clubs. So yeah, it doesn't bet very much. So good. So I was wrong. Not a range bet. Let's make it, let's just quickly make it rainbow. King 10-8, right? That's what it was?
I don't think
No, it
so.
wasn't. We had king 10-8. Can't be king 10-8. It was king 8-6. Knew there was something in there. Boom. King 8-6 rainbow. And big blind checks.
Some big bets now.
Yep. Lots of
But
3.3.
about the same checking frequency,
Yeah.
but
Still checking.
sizing goes up.
Sizing goes up. Okay. On that king high board. There we go. And we check that down. Good. Brian. Brian.
Can you hear me? There it is. All right. We are folding.
Happily fold.
We are going to fold again.
More folding.
We're folding.
Yep. Now that king deuce suited there, that's an easy raise from the button.
I'd
So
raise it from the hijack at the cutoff. Looks like they're gonna fold.
yeah, exactly. So we know it's worth looking left on the, you look down at 9-7 offsuit, you don't need to look left.
Mm-hmm.
You can look left before you look at your cards, which is fine too. But with the king deuce, we definitely want to look left with a king deuce. And we also want to look left with aces, by the way, if we're going to do that. We don't want to broadcast the tell that we're on the fence. But the king deuce is definitely worth seeing it because you might see two fold tells. And if you see one, you could raise it on the idea of saying, I look even stronger because I'm in the hijack if you're playing against people who know something about positions. All right. So
Damn.
fold.
Old. This is a fold.
It isn't. It is in peak. That is a peak fold. It's not a bad fold either.
All right. This is technically a fold and peak, but well, we're playing peak, so it's a fold.
It's a fold, it's low frequency in the whiz in the hijack. So
Yeah.
it's not a, it's not a it's definitely not a fist pump in the whiz 7-8.
I honestly don't play stuff like that usually from early position because I know I'm gonna get called by somebody.
Yeah.
Probably be out of position. Fold.
Fold.
All right. Let's open it up.
Let's open it up and let's not fold to a 3-bet.
And Scotty, I think Peak has this setting. I saw it the other day when you were running through it. There's a hard setting, and I
Yeah.
think that basically you will never see like 7 deuce off show up in this spot,
Yeah.
right? It'll always be those fringy.
Yeah. Yep. But also that means we don't get the aces. So that's why I'm not bothering with it.
Okay, so
Those aces
I
aren't
think
hard.
we will check a lot here. Especially with this specific hand, I think we're still gonna check
Mhm.
pretty often.
Yeah.
And
This hand
so
certainly can bet, right? We don't think this is gonna be 100% check.
no, I think you can bet it. I think the entire range is gonna have some bets and some checks, but this one is very specifically going to. I think I would check with this. It would GTO would check. I would bet, but
Yeah, this would be a good one to we'll go through with a horse on this one. So we check, he checks, we bet, he raises, we fold.
yep.
Um, he checks, we bet, he calls, we get the jack. Um,
In that situation, I would have to decide whether I have showdown or not. And they just don't have that many draws. They could have
it's hard to
four,
get it.
five. There's not a lot of. I don't think I have showdown when he calls.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't want to do the line of bet, check, bluff catch. I would
yeah,
have to try and construct a bluff.
yeah, yeah. So I want,
So
yeah. So in the horse, how big do we? And we'll go through the hand again with a bet. Well, we do the half size bet. So there's 9 big blinds in the pot now ish. 9 or 10. And what size? And he checks again. What size do we want to bet in the horse?
in the horse, I would filter for bad hands. So nines or worse, pocket pairs like 5, 6, 7. So I would, if there's 9 in the pot, I would bet like 7.5
Okay,
to keep those hands in and leave a very chunky bet on the river.
okay. And I thought I would bet 12, not to force them to fold, but 12, and then do the big chunky bet on the river and the horse. I thought we would overbet this turn
I
with
would-
no obvious draw coming in.
yeah, that's true. I mean, the only
Yeah.
reason I like the 7.5 better than the 12 is because this might not be the best reasoning why, but in this situation, he does have hands that he picks up 2 pair on, and we still want to incentivize those hands to
Okay.
raise. So
Jack
I
9
can,
specifically. That's it, right?
yeah,
Not Jack deuce or Jack
basically,
3, Jack 9.
yeah,
Okay.
Jack 9.
All right.
And
That's
something like that that's possible. And I still, because even if I start going 12 into that, if I try to think about this real game sizes, that'd be 10, 9, let's say it's a 10 big blind pots, $20 in the pot. I bet 30 into it. I'm going to start filtering in some hands that are, there's just not that many strong hands. He's going to let me know. It's just, I don't know. I think 12 just folds out all the stuff
yeah,
now
that's
instead
possible.
of
Yeah. But you're not betting
getting,
you're not betting 3 big blinds.
no.
You're still sizing up. It's whether you're over betting or going to the 66, 80, 66, 75%. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But
And
okay, so
over,
GTO.
yeah, in GTO land,
What do we do here? I think GTO is going to take their showdown
I
after
agree.
checking the flop.
Yeah, I agree. Let's check this. Yep. Huge check. Huge, big old check. And
Yeah.
bluffs. 10-8. 10-8 gets to come in and bluff now.
Like,
King
open
5.
range.
Yeah, yeah. So no showdown value stuff. Worse aces.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what's weird is. Oh no, that it's Ace Jack. That's the one. Because we went over this the one day, and I'd said that I thought that the strong ace was going to check, and we weren't sure which
Right.
one it was, and I think I ended up being correct. But I've seen spots where it does use like the 10 and then the ace 9 and ace 10
Yeah.
randomly will start to bet, but ace kings won't. So I wasn't sure, but I would check here GTO world.
Right. Ace deuce is a pair. Ace 3 is a pair. Ace 4 is a gut shot. Ace 5 is a gut shot. Ace 6 is your first bad ace that isn't a pair or a gut shot. And it bets
Yeah,
all the fucking time to try to get ace 7, ace 8, ace 9, ace 10 to fold. Ace 10 doesn't have to do that. So we check it back.
look at me. I'm such a GTO player.
Yeah, you really are. You're a bot.
I'm a
You're a
total
bot
bot.
playing against people who don't know how to spell GTO. All right. The river. Come on, river.
They check. We are taking showdown in
Yeah,
GTO land.
let's do it. And in
Horse world, I hate this.
oh, I know the answer in horse world.
Give up.
No, we
No, no, it's
never bet
fold out
big here.
draws. Fold out the draws. That's what it
We
is.
never bet big here.
Yes,
So
that's
we
true.
just have to ask, is it more profitable to bet small or to check? And we're trying to fold out draws. We beat
We
every
beat the
draw that
draws.
makes sense. The only thing we got to fold out is ace jack, ace queen, and ace king. Ace king isn't there. Ace queen isn't
Yeah,
there very much. Ace queen. We don't need to bet here, even in the horse. Now
that's what I was. And you're not really going to get a jack to fold or a nine to fold. So
we need to get fours, fives, and sixes to fold. Did they call twice? Yes, they did.
that's why we set up that bet size.
Yeah. So if you do what I did on the turn and bet 12, you check behind. If you did what you bet on the turn that might keep eights, sevens, and sixes in, then maybe you have to bet small here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I did 7.5 into nine. He calls 14. That comes to what is that? 23, 24. So
Yeah.
24. I need to get. All right. So what would I do with a nine here to try and get those hands to call? I would bet 15 to 20. I think I can get them to maybe call, at least in my games where people are stickier.
Uh,
So if I wanted them to fold, I would be betting, let's make sure they fold. Let's bet 40 into it. That's
and
what
what's
I'd
the
have to
buffer?
actually, it's like 24. So yeah, probably actually closer to 30,
Okay.
35 gets them to
And
fold.
and I don't think you want
Those,
to do that. Given that they're uncapped with a 9, I don't think you want to bet 35.
yeah, I don't love that either.
So
But I don't know. I mean, maybe
we're-
I think
you're
people are more
just a
sticky
kicker.
than they are. Maybe
Yeah.
I think people are more sticky than they actually are.
Yeah, I think you do a lot of checking behind, and then you could exploitatively bet 3/5 of the pot and get pocket forced and get pocket pair smaller than a 9 to call. I mean to fold. I think they would. Because I
Yeah.
think they go tiny to get them to call. All right. All right. Threes is me's, and this will be our last hand. I mean our last guy. I will fold. King deuce, I will fold, and I will look to my left. King 8, I will raise no matter what. I don't have to look to my left, but I will still look to my left. Get called. I have top pair. I have a good kicker. I have a backdoor flush. All those things are good. I have a board that I should not be betting on very often. Therefore, I'm going to bet 3.3. And the size is, what was the size? I didn't even see it. It went by too fast. I forgot to open it up.
I think that's some pot in there.
Yeah, maybe the big size, maybe that was what was wrong with it, was a big size. Okay. Now, the 4 hits his range better than my range. So I can choose to put this in my check back range. I can continue to bet it. In game, I am going to check back and and bluff catch the river. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, I was gonna just bluff catch the river, but now that it's in third four, fuck that. Am I gonna raise this? No, I'm not gonna raise it. I don't think he has a four, and I have the best eight, and he doesn't have, am I really gonna
I would raise fold.
raise and fold? That's good. Raise fold. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm gonna raise fold, I'll go to 20.
In
It
value.
just likes call. All
It
right, so
does.
screw you. He folds anyway. That was the thing, was I just saw the world of him folding. All right. So now we're done. And the only thing we wanted to see on that hand was what the correct one was on this size right here. It was this one. And I think I think in game, I think I was just calling it. Okay, so here we go. When I bet the flop here, the size we like. So this board, 8-4 deuce, that's where we are, right? Yeah, we're at 8-4 deuce. This is definitely a big bet. This is a bigger bet, but it's bigger even than I said. That's what it was. That's what was wrong. And my particular hand, king 8, suited. Yeah, go pot. So I got the motion right, not big enough. And the fact that it checks so much, sure. But I prefer to err on the side of betting. Okay. See you guys on Monday.
See ya. Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Scotty.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Have a good
Good luck.
weekend. And as Skate says, may the poker gods be with you.